Last episode, you were all at the Watching Stones just outside of Tharbad along the Greenway, which is the main road between Tharbad and Bree. You had encountered a woman at the top of the hill where the Watching Stones were. Her name was Orothel, and she ended up being a Dunedain who was responsible with her apprentice um, that goes by the name Moonstalker to protect this greenway, to protect the trade route between Tharbad and Bree and all those who travel along it. She was apparently waiting there for a report from one of her spies from Tharbad. And when you encountered her, she was surprised to hear that you had that spy in your company, a man by the name of John O'Leaping, who you had left down at the bottom of the hill with Goldie. And it was at that time that John Leaping made his move, pulled out a dagger, which no one found on his person previously, cut his bonds, and immediately attacked Goldie. However, Goldie, being the tenacious hobbit that she is, managed to subdue this surly man um, and promptly sat on his ass until help arrived. You subdued him and then spent the next little while debating what to do with John Leaping. Your original task was to bring him to Tharbad as a prisoner exchange of sorts to free a captive cobbler by the name of what was his name again? Begins with a B. I have it right here. Everything's so slow. There we go. Borlas, who is being held captive, more like an indentured servant, to Captain Gurnow, the current ruler of Tharbad. You received a bit of a lore dump from Orthal about Tharbad and its history and its how it came to be what it is today, basically a dying city. And its latest ruler, Captain Gurnow, who has reestablished the title of captain, reclaimed it for himself, married a woman of past nobility, a woman named Lady Stock. And there is a mixed feeling as to whether or not he can restore the former glory of Tharbad or not. One is that he does seem to be making some kind of progress, but he is a bit of a thug in the mean, and by the means he's doing it, he's using effectively slave labor, exorbitant taxes, and he hires brigands and thieves to enforce his will. So that is the state of Tharbad today. Um, and I believe you had originally thought of bringing John Leaping with you, but realizing that if you were to surrender John Leaping to Captain Gurnow, you would effectively be sentencing him to death as a spy for the Rangers, who Captain Gurnow and especially his wife detest. So you're in a bit of a moral dilemma, trying to figure out what to do. Anna, who had quite enough of this debate, was willing to just slit John Leaping's throat there and then and resolve you of this problem. But instead, you managed to convince her to back off, and instead, you have tied up John Leaping and left him at the top of the Watching Stones to fend for himself. Um, Orithel, in the meantime, meant to travel north. She had her own business to attend to and released Moonstalker from her service to accompany the company in their quest to essentially get to Isengard. Because after some parley, she realized the importance of your mission and what you're doing, and that you needed to succeed, and was willing to offer Moonstalker to your service to help you achieve your goals. So you received a bit of intelligence from John Leaping saying that you should approach the North Bank gates at a certain time where you would meet a contact of his, a certain watch captain at that time. If you were to mention his name, that you would receive a preferred rate to enter the city because there's fees and taxes at every twist and turn of this city, including gaining entrance. um, what else? So after leaving John Leaping at the Watching Stones with the intent, I believe that what was the intention there? That after you freed the cobbler,
He was still a bargaining chip, but not near us, so that we didn't have to say where he was. We could use and say, "We'll tell you where he is. Let us have the cobbler."
Yeah, that way they couldn't take him from us, and then we no longer have a bargaining chip.
right? And Orthel, I believe, had volunteered to escort the cobbler back to
Yes.
the village. Right. Okay. Back to Craymore. All right. On her way north. So she's waiting there, I guess, with John Leaping, for someone to return and claim him, and for the arrival of Borlas, the cobbler. Okay. So you had a plan to get into Tharbad. You weren't all going to go in together. You went in batches. So the first batch, that was Eucaliel and Goldie. Oh, and the two hobbits, right?
Yes.
And Turk. You whispered the name of John Leaping to the watch captain, who immediately recognized it and gave you the royal treatment, allowed you entry into Tharbad, and was escorting you personally. Those who followed were Moonstalker and Zurich. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
And you were accompanied by the two sisters. You
Yep.
failed to have the proper amount of coin to gain entry. So Anna, rolling her eyes, tossed the watch a gold piece, which is extraordinary in these times and places. And they allowed you entry. Now, the first group, Eucaliel and the Hobbits, you guys are being escorted directly to the Red Palace. And the captain of the watch was not veering. He's insisting that you accompany him to the Red Palace. I don't know where the two sisters, Moonstalker and Zurich, are off to.
We're following behind.
We have no idea where the first party went. Yeah, I tried to keep up with them, but did we lose
Yeah.
sight of them? Yeah.
I think we stopped last session right after we discovered that the first group was being led towards the Red Palace, and the second group had gotten through the gate. So we don't really know what the second
Okay.
group did yet.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah, let us know when it's time for questions.
All right. Yeah, go ahead. What is your question?
I was going to ask questions as we're walking through the streets. How are the people dressed? What are their attitudes? Seeing us walking with the captain of the guard, are they curious? Are they kind of standoffish? Are they?
Make a perception check. In fact, all of you, please make a perception check.
Wah, wah, wah.
Wow. Okay, Zurich.
Zurich is tweaked.
Where do I find my perception check? Sorry, trying to find it.
It should be in your. I'm trying to remember what players panel looks like.
Skills on the
Yeah.
left-hand side, and then it turns a little button, like word about the dice roller below your character image.
Oh, skills on the left-hand side. There we go. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm still getting used to this system, so sorry.
No worries.
We
Yeah.
all have. Trust us.
For sure.
And what do I got to do to make it roll again when I click on it?
You'll see at the bottom of your middle of your screen. You'll see
Check and
view.
view.
Check.
Yeah.
Click on check.
Just click check. All right, thanks.
Yep. All right. So the first group with your big rolls, the highest being 13, don't really notice much. The townsfolk. Actually, let's change scenes here. I can show you what it looks like.
Just a reminder, there was another group of questions that were asked before we went to the gate, and I believe you mentioned that the hobbits were down by the river, below the bridge.
There are hobbits that have taken up residence in Tharbad, for sure. Yeah, various occupations. They kind of live throughout, but there are some that hang out by the river too. So the people of Tharbad are dressed modestly. They seem curious about you. This is the first group that you're watching. You see some heads turn as you make your way down the street, and it's not often that they see a group of people being escorted by the captain of the watch. They're all kind of clearing, making way for you. There seem like simple tradesfolk. None of them seem terribly happy. There's no like children running through the streets or anything like that. Everything just seems kind of muted, a little dreary. They're just kind of trying to survive. Is the vibe that you
Feels
get.
like we're kind of in a Charles Dickens novel right now.
Kinda, exactly.
Okay,
That's exactly
gotcha.
it. Exactly the vibe.
Um, so people are parting out of the way. So we have. I don't want to use the word crowd. I don't want to put a word in your mouth. But there are enough people about that. Are we passing through a town square? Are we passing by carts? Are carts heading in other directions with horses and things?
Tharbad, despite it being labeled a dying city, is quite populous. It's probably the biggest city that you have ever seen as a hobbit from the Shire. Far, far bigger than Bree. Bree looks like a quaint little country town compared to Tharbad. There are several multi-story buildings made from stone, brick even, some plastered over. It is a city by all means, and it has a population, although it's not nearly as populated as it once was. There are still more people here than you have ever seen in one place before.
Okay. What I would like to do is reach out and squeeze Callie's hand, and as well as
Goldie?
Goldie. Thank you. I kept on thinking all the other names, like Anna. So get their attention, nonverbal communication, and kind of look at them. And I think we are feeling a little uncertain of where we're going, that we're being sort of, well, not frog marched, but certainly directed without our input. And so I'm going to sort of glance to the other side and go, and I'm as soon as a cart goes by with a horse, I'm going to duck underneath the horses.
All right.
So
Um,
first off, I want to make sure that both of them recognize what I'm going to be doing.
Kaliel was planning something similar, so I think she's gonna be on board with that. Quick question about our escort. I don't remember. Are we escorted by the captain and other soldiers or just him?
just him.
Okay, good.
I'm
I was
trying to
like,
remember
we've
his
got a
name
group
here.
of soldiers with us. We're gonna have problems.
His name is oh, sorry, not a captain. He's a lieutenant. Watch Lieutenant
Lieutenant,
Tom
yeah.
Brass.
Yes. I think to attempt to assist in that, after he gives the look, um, I will um try to ask the lieutenant a question about something in the opposite direction to the direction that he looked in, like I'm going this way kind of thing. Just be like, what's that building over there?
All right. I'm gonna have you roll a stealth check, Turk, with advantage.
Oh my
Good.
god.
I just need to check his. Okay, I'm gonna get back to you on this because I'm gonna go back to Zurich and Moonstock for a bit. As you guys make your way through the gate, you see Anna um, and Orla, the two sisters who accompanied you. They're kind of walking slightly behind you, as if they're trying to not be associated with you.
Hmm.
And as you guys both rolled exceptionally well in your perception checks. You look around, you see the same thing that I described for the first party that went through. But what they missed, but what you clock, are numerous people in several alleyways, windows of second stories, hooded figures, shady looking figures, some of them like picking their nails with daggers, watching you. And you know for a fact that they saw Anna pay your way through this gate with a gold.
Ah. All right.
Thanks.
Zurich grips his axe a little tighter.
Yeah. Keep my bow in my hand. Just had it slung.
All right, you two look like a formidable pair. The two sisters are trying to be as inconspicuous as possible, however. But you two guys look like, okay, we're not going to mess with them. They look like they're carrying weapons and we don't want any trouble with them. And they couldn't even pay their way through the gate. They had to get these ladies to do so. So they seem to be more focused on the sisters behind you.
Little do they know.
All right.
Yeah.
So where I just need a general direction. You have the handouts with you. You can tell me where you'd like to go in Tharbad, in the map of Tharbad.
Do we see them? The other party?
Make a perception check. Another one. Actually, with I'll say with those nat 20 and dirty 23, you can see them. They're about maybe a block ahead of you in the crowd.
We're gonna follow behind. I mean, we're
Agree,
gonna
yeah.
keep the same distance if we can, and,
Right.
and not lose sight. If it looks like we're starting to lose sight, obviously speed up a little bit, but we don't want to make it obvious that we're trailing them.
Agree.
All right. And you do see Turk kind of take off to one side.
You want to fly, but fly casual.
So I want to tell you where you guys are on this map of Tharbad. If you open that up in your handbook, in your handouts, you'll see that you crossed the outer bridge where there was a causeway that kind of came. That's where you had to pay your first toll. Then you went past through the outer districts. Now the other two, the hobbits and Eucaliel, were escorted through the inner gates into the inner city proper. That's where most of the homes are, and that's where they are now. You are, and it's through those gates that you saw Turk kind of dash off to one side.
So, like
and
by
hide.
number 2 on the opposite side of the building, in the main
Yeah,
thoroughfare.
I wish I could ping on handouts, but
Yeah.
yeah. So there's this long causeway that goes through the outer districts and to another set of gates.
Okay.
You're at those other set of gates right now, and you're stopped by another set of guards. And they kind of
Sorry,
approach you.
I was muted.
Yeah.
If we get to that point, I mean, if we see the guards up ahead stopping people, I'm trying to. So this is a bridge that we're on right now.
Mhm.
And I'm assuming it's pretty far down.
Yeah, so it's a causeway. It's probably about 20 feet up above the ground. And around you in the outer districts it's more like farmland, herds of goats and whatnot, um, that kind of thing. It's more rural.
Uh,
There are some larger buildings, though, closer to the gate.
would it be obvious to the guards if we went over the side of the causeway before we got up close to them? Or
There
is
are,
there?
you do see people, there are stairs um, that will take you from the causeway down to the ground level below. So, and people are going up and down those causeways, those staircases. So it wouldn't be out of the ordinary if you decided to do that yourself.
And with the wall, I'm looking at the map. I don't know how proportionate or direct the image is, but it looks like there's breaks in the walls around the inner city, or is that not so?
Yeah, that is correct. Um, the walls are in very bad state of disrepair, more so on the north side than on the south side.
And what exactly does the checkpoint look like when at that second set of gates at the end, the city
They're
side end of the causeway? What are they interrogating people or?
they're collecting fees. They're basically stopping everyone coming in and out of the city, um, and collecting fees. So you see four guards on this side of the gate, and you see four guards on the other side. Two of them are just like guarding, watching, whereas two of them are collecting fees and taxes.
So we paid fees at the first gate and we're paying
Yeah,
fees at the second gate.
exactly.
I'm thinking, does it look like there are any guards at the breaks in the walls?
This one I will have you make another perception check because it's a little
Sure,
off the beaten path that you're looking.
that's not a problem.
You don't see anyone,
Okay.
and in fact, you see like farmers and their goat herds just kind of meandering in and out between those walls. Kind of, they just seem like anyone can go through, but um, you don't see any guards stationed at these gaps.
I'm gonna nudge Zurich with my bow and tilt my head to the left, and we're gonna go off the bridge on one of the stairs.
Zurich looks behind him at the Orla and Anna following. What are they looking to do? Are they reaching for their purse?
Oh, they're following me.
They see they see you going down the stairs, Moonstalker, and you just see Anna shaking her head, and she's walking to the gate, and she's going for her current coin purse.
Okay, I guess I'll change my mind and follow behind.
And Zurich,
She obviously knows something we don't know about the city, so
Yeah, sticking with Anna.
okay. You guys also notice that you guys have picked up a trail. There are at least four of these shady-looking characters, kind of trying to mix in with the crowd, but you clocked them. They're stalking you.
they're stalking the sisters, or they're
You're
stalking
kind
us.
of they're stalking the sisters mainly, but they've kind of caught up to you and they're paying you away again.
Okay. As we go through, I'm gonna
Mhm.
whisper to what's the one that doesn't like me? What's her name?
Anna.
Anna. I'm gonna whisper. We got tails.
I know. I saw them as soon as we passed through the gate.
Zurich will give them the stink eye. Try to intimidate them.
The your stalkers.
Yeah.
Okay, make an intimidation check on it, please.
Would love the nat 20 on this one. But we shall see.
Not bad. 19. They first of all seem surprised that you made them. So when you turn around and give them the stink eye, like eye to eye, they're
Yeah.
like, oh, immediately look away as if they weren't following you, and it's obvious now that they blundered, and so they just kind of wander on to one side, and they don't seem to follow you as much. Maybe they're just giving you a little bit of space, but they're not following you immediately.
All right. I'll sort of play it off like I'm Anna's bodyguard as opposed to the other way around.
All right,
I
I'm
mean,
gonna
if
go
you're
back
actually
to.
counting on her to protect you, you're in for a rude surprise.
Going back to the hobbits and Eucalio inside. Captain, sorry, I keep calling Captain, Lieutenant Brass.
Yeah.
Eucalio, you motion off into one direction, opposite direction to where Turk is taking off. The point is, oh no, you don't want to go to that area. That is, uh, no. There's whispers of ghosts and hauntings in that area. No. Stick with me. I shall bring you to the captain of Tharbad himself. He would be pleased to know that you have arrived under the protection of none other than John a Leaping.
I didn't believe he was that popular. Uh, we've honestly been traveling for quite some time, and if we are to see the captain of this city, can we not spend an evening at an inn, refresh ourselves perhaps,
Oh
so we
no, no,
can
no,
put
no, no,
on
no.
our
I will
best
not.
behavior?
I will not hear of it, and I'm sure Captain Gurno will not hear of it either. You are his special guests, and as such, you shall stay at the Red Palace.
I presumed as such. I still had to act like I was trying. Um, okay, so with that, I will I will attempt to keep him talking for a little bit. Does it seem like he notices when Turk uh slips away?
When
Um,
Turk rolled two fours.
Turk, describe how you try to slip away.
Well, we're walking through, and you were mentioning people were parting around us,
Mhm.
and I did ask about carts and horses coming past us, and I was going to duck underneath a horse. So just because I've got that hobbit like ability going on there, passing
Okay,
underneath larger creatures than myself without um, being
right.
noticed and things. Yeah.
So, Khalil, as you were pointing in the opposite direction, and he says, he looks to where you're pointing for a brief moment, then turns back to you to tell you, don't go there. Then out of the corner of his eye, he sees Turk dash underneath a cart. You just hear him like whistle loudly, and a couple of city watchmen appear around the corner, and he just kind of motions to chase after Turk.
I think at that, I'll just be like, so just so we're on the same page, are we guests or prisoners?
No, you are certainly most honored guest. Is this Tharbad is a very dangerous city, and I fear for the little folk, especially they're most vulnerable. This is for his own protection.
But guests get to choose if they have protection or not.
It would. I'll be honest with
Prisoners
you.
do not.
It would come down on me if any harm should come to your friend. I would pay for it. So it's purely out of selfish motivation that I do this.
And what is John Leaping's role here in this city that gives him such a high station?
Oh, that scoundrel. He is Captain Gurnow's, shall we say, favorite.
Hmm,
And as
favorite
such, that
in
favor
what
has,
way?
as such, that favor has rippled down to you. Um, so, Turk, you see two watchmen chasing after you. Now, what would you like to do?
Duck back underneath the next cart and join the group.
You rejoin them?
Yeah.
Okay. You can see the two watchmen are a little out of breath, trying to like keep their eye on you as you're moving through the legs of these carts and horses. And they see you reappear next to your friends, and they're just like, "Oh, what the hell?" And they just so they and
Got to keep them
Lieu-
guessing.
Lieutenant Brass says, just kind of gives them a little signal, and then they fall in behind you.
Well, I guess we're going to the palace, folks. Uh,
All right. So you're making your way through the streets of the palace.
As
The,
we're walking,
okay.
can I ask him like, how did um Goldie's gonna pretend that she doesn't understand what the fuck's happening. Um and just like be her bubbly self. Like how I mean, did you guys did you guys live here your whole lives? Like, were you friends when you were kids with John? He was so nice to us. We found him in a little bit of a pickle, and he just like he was so helpful. He told us that you were here and we should talk to you because, he didn't tell us he was a favorite. I don't know what that means because where I'm from, we don't have favorites. Um, but just how does that happen? What do you have to do to gain such esteemed company and respect?
Can you make a persuasion check for me, please, Goldie?
I can try. I cannot.
And he looks at you. He doesn't break his pace. He just continues walking. Doesn't even look back at you because he's kind of escorting you. So, John and I go way back. Way, way back. That little piece of shit.
do I
Oh.
have to make a insight check to see, like, does he really hate this guy?
You can make an insight check, actually.
Okay.
The three
Oh,
of you can, since you're there.
I'm gonna say, did he steal the favoritism from you? Is that why you hate him so much? God, it's just.
I'm going to take your first insight roll. Okay. Vicalio, when you can sense a sense of sarcasm in his voice whenever he talks about John Leaping. So you can't. You're not sure if he really hates him or if he's just joking with him, but you feel that he really does hate him.
Gotcha. Yep.
Um,
And here I was so nice to that guy, and he intentionally gave us the name of someone who hates him.
Yeah.
and as he's walking, he says, he pauses for a moment, stops dead in his tracks, and you guys almost bump into him. He turns to you, Goldie, and says, "So where is that bastard now?"
Oh, he had some problems with his shoes. And he said he wanted to repair them, and he's just waiting. He met with some friends not too far from here. I don't know the places. I don't know maps. I'm just a little hobbit. I don't know where exactly he's at. I'm just gonna look around. Just like I'm lost. I could take you there. We can definitely go there, but I think he was with a friend when we left. Maybe you know that friend. I think
Which
they
friend is
both
that?
mentioned you. Oh,
John Leaping doesn't have many friends. I mean, he's lucky he can count me as one of them.
huh. Well, I hope he's not. Hmm. I didn't really catch the name. I was more focused on dinner. I'm ashamed to say.
He has stopped completely now, and he's turned around, kneeled down in front of you, says, "Now you seem like good folk that shouldn't be messing around with people like John Leaping. I mean, despite his elevated stature, if you were to tell me where that son of a bitch is before I take you to the captain, I might be able to pull a few strings, perhaps, for you."
But you said that we were gonna be esteemed guests. What's
Oh,
gonna
of course,
happen?
you will be, of course you will be. And Captain Gurnau will treat you as like royalty. But But what I offer is something a bit more tangible, a bit more useful, perhaps, in this dangerous city.
What was the name of the village that John was in that he was captured?
Graymore.
Great, thank you. Sorry.
Uh, I think Gold is gonna get like gonna lose the bubbly exterior and just look at him and go, "Are we in any danger here? Is that what you're trying to say?"
Well, no, not as long as you're within my company and the company of my men. But God forbid if we weren't around one day or just even a moment's notice, that's all it takes, you know. At the very best case, you might just have your purse strings cut. But at the very worst,
Quite empty.
I hate to shudder. I shudder at the thought of finding wonderful folk like you in the gutter, throat slashed right open.
Well, as I said, I don't really know where he was because again, he could have just walked away. Because you just said that you guys are not really good friends, so maybe he was lying to us the same way you were lying to us.
I'm gonna pause right there. Zurich and Moonstalker. By this point in time, since they've stopped to have this conversation, you have the opportunity to catch up to them if you like. Would you like that?
Inconspicuously, yes. Not
Slowly.
like rushing over them to hug them, but yeah, like
Yeah.
getting closer to them for sure.
Okay. Yeah, so you're right upon them when they're having this conversation. Do you keep going? Do you just kind of linger?
I linger.
Moonstalker?
Um.
The two sisters are going to continue walking ahead.
Yeah. I'm just gonna. I'll stick with Zerk.
Okay.
Kind
They
of
notice
act
they
like I'm
notice that
paying
you've
attention to what he's paying attention to. So.
And if I'm near the hobbits and lingering, but I notice the sisters keep going, my attention gets diverted to where they're going, and if they're the people tracking them end up following them, that'll actually be more where my attention is at.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check for me, please, Zurich. All right, you look around, and it seems as though you've lost your tail at the gate. They didn't have the coin or whatever to get through the gate. But the problem is there are now a couple of other eyes watching you. This place is full of thieves,
All right.
and they see new blood walking through town, carrying fancy weapons. In their mind, that means gold.
All right. I'll hang out with the man mountain next to me and just keep an eye on the sisters. If they keep going, they can take care of themselves.
Well, they noticed that Moonstalker stopped,
Yeah.
and their priority is to protect the documents that he is carrying. So when Moonstalker stops, they stop. And they're still maybe about 50 feet ahead of you, but they turn and they're just looking at you.
Okay.
Moonstalker.
All right. Well, we're like I said, we're just keeping an eye on the other group. So.
Just
All
as
right.
an out of character reminder, don't forget that your team has its own mission to complete here. And that's why we were two separate teams. So if you want to just go complete your mission, that is also okay because when we get out, we gotta move.
Okay. Well, we're trying to keep an eye on you guys. So I mean,
Yeah, maybe you'll
make sure
leave us
you're
at the
okay.
gates of the Red Palace and then go
Oh
do your
well,
mission.
we're not going in there. So I mean.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Yep. Just sort of
Yeah.
make sure you get to that destination and
Yeah. Okay. Just as a reminder.
All right. So Zurich and Moonstalker, where do you guys go then?
Um. Well, it's a. I think we should continue on to my contact and appease these sisters. They look like they're being impatient. What say you?
what about the little ones? You think they can? And the elf, do you think they can take care of themselves?
At this point, is there anything we can do for them?
Mm, make sure they don't get killed.
I mean, they just picked up 2 guards
Yeah.
in a town full of them. There's not a whole lot we're going to be able to do combat-wise in this situation, unfortunately.
All right. Zurich nods. I'll try to catch Eucaliel's eye and tug my beard 3 times to send a message.
Above
Do I
table.
notice that they're around?
Yeah, you guys all notice them. It's
Okay.
hard to miss Man Mountain and a dwarf walking by.
Yeah.
Um,
I understand
The
Zurich,
beard tug? Okay, good.
dwarf communications.
3 tugs,
Uh,
but it's definitely 3 tugs.
Moonstalker, remind me who you meant by your contact.
Where I'm supposed to go here in town, where John Leaping was supposed to go. The part you never gave me a name. Orthel's contact in town.
Okay, Orthel's contact.
Orthel's contact.
You would know that Orthel's contact is likely going to be in the Red Palace.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, how are we gonna do that then? Okay. I guess we'll continue on then. I mean, I'm assuming there's a way I know how to get into the Red Palace to reach the contact.
No, there's the
No.
front door.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm assuming there's guards, and you got to have a reason to be there, right? I mean,
Maybe
It
look
is
for a
the
service
captain's home.
entrance or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I'll let you think about that for a
Yeah.
moment while the other group finds their way to the front door. Actually, sorry, back to your conversation with Lieutenant Brass, Goldie, when you called him a liar.
Mhm.
Um, when you say that, he just smiles at you.
Smile right back.
And you don't need an insight check to know that this is a completely cold, heartless smile. This is not a nice man. And as well, I had to try. And if I were you, I would be very, very careful while you're in town.
Here's the thing. As you can tell, not from here, nor around here. I'm far from home. I decided to go on a little adventure, and it turned into a big adventure. And we're here, and we met someone on the road who needed some help, and we decided to help him because that's what my people do. And then, well, you just said that he's not good people, so I don't know why I tried to help him anyways. But first you said you were good people, and now you, I'm very confused. So I'm gonna
I am
ask
good
you.
people. I am captain, lieutenant of the watch. How much
Of
better
course.
than I am an upstanding citizen of this town. Who are you going to believe, myself or a scoundrel like John Leaping, who
Well,
I am going to bet money that he was up to no good when you found him.
oh, he was tangled on some funny business. Again,
Exactly.
not
My
from
point
here.
exactly.
Why
Don't
did he
understand.
give us your name?
Right,
If
that's the thing. He said you guys were good friends. And you first said you were good friends. But I think you tried to trick us.
You'll find if you stay long enough in Tharbad, friendship is a very fickle thing.
Hmm.
so, you
Well,
think he gave us your name to get us in trouble?
More like he gave you my name because, well, first of all, you're lucky that he gave you my name because I am genuinely a nice guy. I will protect you and ensure your safety so long as you're under my protection.
if we tell you where he's at, if we tell you specifically where he's at, what's going to happen to us and what's going to happen to him?
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you a little secret. And he kneels down and kind of whispers into your ear, Goldie. There might be a little reward out for John Leaping at this moment. And let's say I were to find him, I would be more than happy to split that reward with you.
Don't cut the reward with this guy.
Oh, question, Anna question, because I don't
Mhm.
remember and I don't have it on my notes. Our goal was just to get the cobbler out. We're not looking for information. We're not looking for to talk with anyone, right? Is that my
Yeah,
understanding?
no, our plan was to turn him in as an informant and get the cobbler out. That
Okay,
was it.
okay. So that was my question because I was confused for a second. Okay, he's whispering. I'm gonna like turn to Yukaliel and Turk, and I'm gonna grab the guy and walk like a little bit far away so they don't follow us. Like, just stay there, and I'll take him with me for like, not to like a street or anything. We're not don't want to hide too much. Just wanna come there.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I need to know why you guys are looking for him before I tell you where he's at. Because I want to know if he's really a bad person or if you're
Oh, he's a bad person. He's a bad,
the
bad
bad
person.
person. What has he done? Tell me the
Well,
truth,
where
please.
should I start? Thievery? Murder? Spying for the Rangers? Is that not enough?
I'm gonna look around. Do I see someone who like could fit that description that looked like John Leaping?
Make a perception check. Yeah.
God
No,
damn
everyone's
it.
kind of
Leaping.
giving you a wide berth. They know they recognize Tom Brass as watch lieutenant. He's a man of quite some authority. So people are trying to like um, conspicuously like, avert their gaze and their attention away from you, and no one really matches that description.
I'm afraid that if I give you where he's at, oh, I'm doing the wrong thing. However, everyone's doing the wrong thing lately. Tell you what, get us out of here. Help us with one task, and you don't have to share the profits.
Is you can see genuine interest kind of across his faces. Oh, tell me, I'm eager to hear what you propose.
I would like to get someone out of the city. I would like to get myself and my friends out of the city. Once that is complete, and again, I'm a hobbit who found herself in a situation where she shouldn't have been. But
Oh,
bad
my dear,
people,
there are plenty of hobbits in this town that hmm, would make John a leap blush, in the sense that they are more devious, more villainous than any others that I have ever met. So don't hide behind the guise of shiredom and hobbit folk. I know what your folk are capable of.
well, you might know the wrong type of hobbits. My family, we help each other.
Kirk kind of looks away.
You're gonna hear that. um, where I'm from, this is not who we are. And someone who reminds me a little bit of John and a little bit of you, under the guise that they were good people, at our phrase first. Tricked someone I really care for, and they almost died. So I don't feel that bad doing this, because you all are doing bad things. One day it's gonna catch to you. Right now, I want to get myself and my friends out of here.
Make another persuasion check, please. Now,
I'm
give you
rolling
advantage.
like shit.
Now, you have advantage on this.
Can I was gonna save this for later, but if we're gonna resolve this here, um, are are we hearing the conversation that you're
No,
having?
she
Okay,
intentionally took you
gotcha.
out of earshot.
That's fine.
All right, with a dirty 20.
Goldie's crying at this point because she knows what she's doing.
You manipulative little hobbit.
So, for you and your two friends, clear passage out of Tharbad.
And one more
Say that we
person.
have any other friends.
No.
The
And one more
cobbler.
person.
Yeah.
All right,
Someone
and
who's
you
seen it
wish
too.
someone freed that you know is imprisoned in Tharbad at this moment. Who is that person? And I'll tell you if this is possible or not.
It's just a cobbler from a nearby town.
Ooh, okay. I can
No one
swing that,
important.
but it will cost you more than the reward on John Leaping's head. That's for certain. For the man that you are trying to free is in the lowest, deepest levels of the prison.
A mere cobbler from a nearby town.
You see, this is no mere cobbler. I'm not certain what you have heard, but this is no mere cobbler. He is a man of special interests to our captain. And to get him free, which I may be able to do, but it will come with a price.
Can I do an insight vibes
Mhm.
check on him?
Yep. You know that this guy is very, very, a very capable liar. So you have no idea as to whether or not he is being upfront with you or not.
What would that cost be?
So let me just ensure that I have this straight in my mind. You passage through Tharbad for 3 and the freedom of the cobbler. And in exchange, you'll tell me the exact location
Yep.
of John Leaping.
Yep. He's just fixing his shoes there.
And he looks at the three of you and says, what can you three offer that is worth anything?
Well, here's my thought. If what you're saying is true, that this cobbler is so important, but the John Alipin is also so important, maybe I should just take it to the captain and get the reward myself. Maybe I could pay for him. Or at least for us to get out if he's, I mean, you know.
No reason to do that. No reason to involve the captain now. This is certainly this is beneath him. Something I'm sure I could handle myself.
You're so confusing, man. He's important, he's not important, the reward's so high, the reward's not so high. He's a friend, he's not a friend. I don't know what else to do. I'm just gonna go to the captain and talk with him myself.
He
Or
looks
you can
back
help me.
at Eucalio, standing next to the guards and next to Turk.
I'll be home in a minute.
She's an elf.
I will say, now he might know I'm an elf, but I
What?
will say that before we came to town, I made sure that to arrange
Where?
things so that the ears were not visible.
He
But
has
he
a
can
crazy
certainly
high
still attempt to
perception.
recognize that.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna look back surprised.
Oh, come on! Everybody
Gonna
knows
bluff
the
it
elves.
like an
Everybody,
elf?
everybody knows when the
She
elves
lied to
when
me.
elves walk up in Lord of the Rings, they got glowing light around them. Come
Yeah, yeah.
on!
He needed a
Um,
3.
I just have really good complexion, okay?
and you can tell without even an inside threat that Tom Brass was chosen lieutenant of the watch for a reason. He is a very perceptive man.
Gotcha.
He could be also incredibly deceptive, and not very. His moral area is a little shady on the
So
shady
does he
side, but
say that, like, of the volume to speak to me, or is he saying it to Goldie as
no,
in, like,
he's
he's an
saying to
elf?
Goldie. But you do
Okay.
see him looking at you as he says
Yeah.
this. And can you read lips?
Me?
No, Eucaliel. Can Eucaliel read
Oh,
lips?
Um, I do not have an ability to specifically be able to read lips. No. I just have relatively high perception.
Okay. He says she's an elf. Surely she has some trinket of elvish origin that she could pay the balance with. I'm not asking for much. Maybe, I don't know, a piece of jewelry, something of elvish design. Tell you what.
Galadriel's ring, Elrond's ring. Come on.
I'll let you three talk it over for a few moments. Um, but he looks up at the sky and says, we don't have much time, though. There are eyes all around. They have seen you come in. They have seen me escort you this far. I will need a decision quite quickly.
Okay, so huddle. What do you think?
yeah.
Go to
Hold
the main
on.
guy. I think maybe we.
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
Did I have on my cloak? Because I did get a cloak off the when we were in Rivendell. Did
I
I
think you
have?
said you stuffed it away, and you went
Yes,
all full color.
it's in my pack. It's in my pack. Yeah.
Yep.
No, but did it come with a brooch to like get it together? Of Elven design?
Yeah, probably just to hold it together, just kind of like that leaf kind of thing that in Lord of
Okay.
the Rings.
I am gonna go and and get like a snack out of my bag and just send it like so Eucalia can get down. And I will say, okay, so whispering. Um, I don't know if you guys are. I might have a way for you guys to get out of here, or for we all to get out of here and get the cobbler out. He just wants a piece of jewelry from Rivendell. And I don't know if this, like, I don't want you to give anything, Callie. Uh, I do have this, and maybe it will work. He knows you are, um, and yeah, I didn't promise anything. He said we should chat about it. I don't think they're very good people, and I don't know if you should go to the Red Palace, if I'm honest. It's a
So,
little scary.
because we didn't hear the rest of this conversation, why does he need extra payment to get the cobbler out?
Well, that's the payment. I'm trying not to tell that I offered. This is Anna speaking.
Okay.
Uh, John a leaping.
Okay, so
He just
okay.
wants elf made stuff for payment to get the cobbler out. It's just
I guess in that case, then my question will change because our original plan was to turn over John a Leaping. So I'll just say, why are we offering elven gifts instead of the original plan? Not that I'm
um
complaining, I just
yeah, that's why you said it wasn't. I mean, talking with uh shit, I forgot her name.
uh
Oh,
Anna.
Ortha? Nope.
Ortho, yeah,
Me.
the ranger
Ortha.
woman.
Yeah. She said what they will do to him, and yeah, we shouldn't do that. Um, and I asked him. I asked nicely what can we do to exchange the cobbler, and he just said he knows who you are, or not who, but what, and with
I was
that,
concerned if he knew who I was.
yeah, no, he doesn't know that. I didn't say names. I probably gave him my name. I should stop giving people my name. Anyway,
It's fine.
um, yeah. What do you guys
Well,
think?
so we don't have to go to the palace if we do this now?
That's what he says. Yes. I don't know if I trust him too much, but maybe we can hold off until we're off the gates. Hopefully, you know who, will be able to get out by themselves. And we just continue on our merry way.
Well, if it's only jewelry, I don't see any problem with that. Jewelry for a person's life, I have no problem with that exchange.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Probably
Is
shoving nuts in my
Goldie
mouth.
actually being as sus as she's being? Is just like trying to hide stuff?
I think my deception's too good. That's pretty good.
While you guys are having this conversation, I'm going to switch back quickly to Moonstalker and Zurich, who have moved past you now. They're walking a little further away. Where did you guys end up deciding on going?
To the keep for now. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, follow.
All right, so you're going straight to the Red Palace.
Yep.
All right. Anna and Orla kind of know this town and they know where you're going. And when they see you heading towards the Red Palace, it kind of it's this mammoth red building ahead of you. It's hard to miss. Anna just kind of pulls on your shoulder for a moment, Moonstalker.
I'll
It's-
slow down and tilt my head to her, down to her.
Why are we going to the Red Palace?
I have to speak to Orathel's contact.
That is not part of the deal.
That was my mission from Orathel. You heard that.
You are putting the documents in danger by taking them inside the Red Palace. If you were to go inside, then fine, that is your business. Hand the documents over to us.
I can't do that, and you know that.
Then we cannot allow you to enter the palace. Because there is a very good chance that either you or those documents will not come out.
I'm gonna look at the dwarf.
He literally shrugs.
I'm
I
gonna
don't.
squat down, motion him to come closer to me,
He does.
take the documents out, and I'm gonna put them in his armor.
Ha! You want me to carry those things? That's a hot rock.
Zurich will hold the documents. I'll look up at Anna until I come back.
Fine.
Stay with
slip
them,
my-
Zurich.
They're gonna slit my throat.
I think you can take them both.
Ah, you're probably right. He nods.
Just stay in the open street where nothing bad can happen, yes?
Zurich nods.
All
Because
right.
I
Zurich
don't
is
think
really
I-
good.
I-
Zurich
I
is
don't-
really good at holding on to things. You may not know from previous episodes, but I'm really good at holding on to things.
I don't think that they will try to take them from you in the open streets.
As does Moostalker say that out loud enough
Yes,
for the
right.
sisters to hear?
Yep.
As Moostalker says that, Zurich will glance over to the sisters and try to read their expression.
Make an insight check.
I've been rolling good so far.
All right. You
Did they
recall
look at me
Yeah.
like hawks look at mice, or
sort of,
yeah.
but you also get the feeling that they are also honor bound by their vow not to harm any member of the company in your mission to deliver these documents to Isengard.
Zurich senses their honor, and he'll just nod to them and say, "Then we shall keep to our pact. And farewell, Moonstalker. Hope to see you soon."
Yes. And I get up and I'll head towards the keep
And where does Zurich go then?
or palace.
Fuck. He's kind of just like got cement in his boots right now. I don't think he knows what to do, so he'll just sort of plant himself where he's at and probably not take his eye off these two sisters.
All right. In the far back, maybe about 100 feet back, a few blocks back through the crowd, you do still see your friends. They're still stuck in the middle of the street having weird conversations. They haven't moved. So,
Yeah, again, cement in my boots, glancing from the sisters to the party down the street, to the sisters to the party down the street.
all right. Can you make a perception check for me, please?
Yep.
Zurich.
Waiting for my luck to run out.
All
Not
right.
yet.
There are people watching you.
Come on, ladies, follow me. I'll start
And you
walking
get the
towards them.
impression that they saw this document handoff.
Nothing but a couple of restaurant menus. And come on, ladies, and I'll just start walking back towards the hobbits.
Okay. I'll say, since the previous conversation was going on for some time, you arrive back at the location of where they are, where they're having this group huddle. So,
Okay.
Eucaliel, Turk, Goldie, you see Zurich approaching you with the two sisters.
And with that, I can discern that the documents are with him because otherwise they would not be.
Good thinking.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not going to make direct eye contact because we don't want them to know that we're.
You know that I know that you know that I know.
As you
That they
approach,
know.
as you approach Zurich, you see Lieutenant Brass kind of step in your way and says, "Ho there, dwarf. This is royal business. Please keep your distance."
Fair enough. I'll walk past them as if I'm going to walk away, but I'll decrease my speed and linger.
As Zurich passes and you see the two sisters pass, it's very obvious to the three of you, the two hobbits and Eucaliel, Anna is almost at her wit's end.
I can imagine.
Just
I'm
following you
also
guys
a little
around.
upset that the documents changed hands after I was like, swear on your life you'll keep these things safe. Like, I understand, but still.
All right.
Yeah.
So Zurich is just going for a walk with documents and the sisters.
Moseying. Yeah. If it's a busy street, I'll meander.
Okay. Can you make a Just a stealth check, I guess, just or deception, just to see if you how well you mingle with the crowd.
I'm gonna try deception because I have armor on, so I'm not stealthy. But my attempt to look nonchalant is
Or
is
performance,
deception.
actually, if you want performance too.
Performance. Same thing.
Break into a song.
What
Oh,
is this like? This is like that session the other night where every other roll was a 20.
So yeah, you blend right in. You're just like a local. You even pick up the local dialect to sound just
Good.
like a local.
Yeah, I find a little gathering of short people and I mingle with them.
Hilarious.
Thank goodness.
Okay, I'm gonna quickly move to Moonstalker, who now
Split the party.
stands in front of the Red Palace. This place used to be grand. You could tell. Um, this is an old building, probably dating back at least to the Second Age, maybe even the first. Standing on either side of the main entranceway are two statues who you recognize immediately, even though time has kind of worn them down a little bit, as Elendil and Isildur. Um, so you know that this house or this palace used to belong to nobility, Dunedain nobility, as when they ruled this part of Eriador. But now it's clearly fallen to disrepair. Chunks of the red plaster have fallen off, exposing the poorly reconstructed stone beneath it. You can see holes, in fact, in some of the walls. It is in rough shape, and you can even see on the first floor. The Grey Flood is known to flood, hence its name, and you can see that the flood damage has um, remained on the first floor. That's quite evident in the wood, rotten wood there that you see. Standing in front of the two doors in front of the doors, sorry, are two guards.
And what's my contact's name? Because you never said. So
I'll type it to you in Discord.
sure.
I don't. This is supposed to be like super secret.
Yep.
Where did we go? I sent this name to you.
Yeah. No, I hadn't seen that before. Okay.
Okay.
What's the name of the captain's or the captain of Tharbad's wife?
Lady Stock.
Okay.
And you know that she hates rangers, like
Yeah.
despises them.
I'm gonna walk around, like head straight to the door, look for like a servant's entrance.
All right. You go around the side of the building and you do see what looks to be like an entrance that kind of dips down beneath.
the group decision on that. That's just my thoughts on that.
You have a point. My only concern is considering he is a direct servant of the captain, if we do go to the captain, what are the odds that he's going to accept a piece of jewelry as payment?
I didn't hear much about that jewelry thing, but I think it's going to be a trade for a leaping.
Which was our original plan. So, just for vote's sake, you think we should go to the captain and attempt our original plan?
Goldie, was he going to, what was he going to do? He was going to make the trade just for jewelry, or was he going to make the trade for a leaping and jewelry?
Um, well, he
I can
wants from
imagine the stuttering here, Hammond and Hahn.
he doesn't want you involved in this, and I don't trust them. And right now, I think that I am sorry to that village, but I think our lives are more important, especially yours, Lucalia. We're little folk, um, but you have a bigger role in all of this. And right now, I think we should get you out of here. And if he gets us out of here, I think, and I'm sorry to the cobbler.
Well, if all we wanted to do was leave, we could just walk our way out now. But we came in for a reason.
I'm gonna look at the lieutenant. I don't think it's gonna just let us leave. I think once
That's
you're in,
fair.
you're in. He has threatened our lives. I think he doesn't realize it. I understand that. But
So, just to speak plainly here, you want to trade uh, John Leaping and the jewelry for the cobbler, and the reason you want to be done with the lieutenant here is so that I don't have to go into the palace, correct?
pretty much. Because I think once we go to the palace, it doesn't matter what we give them. They're gonna keep us. I don't think they're fair people. I don't think they're gonna care. And seeing how the merchant acted, I don't want that to be repeated. And I don't want them to ask something from you that you cannot say no to because you're afraid for our lives. And I think this mission in what Big Beard guy said, I'm not gonna say his name, is more important to the overall.
Of
Um,
course.
yeah.
And I will just make a note for this larger mission. I don't have those important things.
Oh, I know, but still, I think you're gonna have an important piece in all of this, and it'd be sad if we had to stay here.
Well, I feel like I'm the deciding vote here because Turk wants to go to the captain. You want to speak to the lieutenant. And I suppose it's all up to me.
I gotta
Well,
get the fuck out of here.
no, Goldie makes a good point. I really didn't think how are they going to act when they know that they've got an elf in their hands, somebody who maybe they'll figure out that you're from Rivendell. Are you even a bigger bargaining chip for some other greater purpose?
We already knew that was a possibility before
Yeah.
we even entered Tharbad, which is why I tried to hide my identity, but apparently my
He's
brilliance
got eyes, man.
is impossible to hide.
That's the thing. I think we try to get out of here, hope for the best, but expect the worst.
Well, I don't have a problem with us talking to doing this deal with the lieutenant, but we can't give away the location until after we have confirmed
Hmm.
that the cobbler, that we've seen the cobbler and he's been sent out the north gate. He has to be sent out the north gate.
Yep. And uh oh, we should warn her to not
I
be there when they
can.
go get him.
I can.
Okay.
And I kind of like make a brief glance up to the nearest rooftop because ever since we've entered Tharbad, Fandil has been on Overwatch, just kind of following us.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I can do what needs to be done.
Do we
All
talk
right.
with him?
I'm all right with talking of making this arrangement with the lieutenant.
Let's go for it. Let's try it.
I'm gonna turn around and go to the lieutenant.
Ah, you've come to a decision, and I hope it was the right one.
I hope you're a good person under all your gaze.
The best.
And all your bravado. I need to know the cobbler's gonna be sent out the north gate, so he can go to his family.
You're very good. I will make that happen. And your end of the deal?
I need to be sure.
And what would suffice as proof?
His head. No. uh, I don't know.
We could see
I
him,
really.
like see him leave out the north gate. I mean, they
Okay.
could still shoot him down from there, but that's about as best we're gonna get.
All right.
Yeah.
You would. And just to be sure, we are talking about the cobbler,
Mhm.
right?
Did we already give him his name? Because I want to make sure that we have the correct cobbler.
Yeah. No, I have not yet. I'm gonna ask like, what's the cobbler's name? How many
I don't.
cobblers do you guys have here?
Orlas,
Peach cobbler.
peach cobbler.
Yes. Or less.
That's
Yes.
the cobbler's wife.
Yes. That's the one in. That's the one being held, and that's in the deepest dungeons of Gartoron.
That's the name that we were given. So
Yep.
how
Promise
long
that.
is this going to take?
Well, there is the matter of bribing the jailer and securing his release and escorting him safely without all these prying eyes about. Um,
You're the lieutenant
I,
of the watch. You shouldn't have to bribe a dungeon guard.
clearly, you are new to this town,
Mm.
but I will not hold that against you. Your naivete is refreshing somehow, and you are fortunate to have me on your side to watch out for you. So, it is. I suggest that we do this after dark. How does midnight sound? An auspicious time.
After dark, are we free to roam the city on our own until then?
There is no curfew.
As in,
Darla.
are you going to follow us at every moment, or can we?
Well, there is the point that you have drawn a fair amount of attention coming through the gates, and with me as your escort, um, I must still present you to Captain Gurno. But we need not mention anything about John Leaping.
So we're still going to the palace.
Oh yes, that hasn't changed.
What is the price on John Leaping's head?
You did say that the bounty was all mine, right? I just want to make sure.
Well, if you're gonna take us to the palace, might as well talk with the captain.
Now, why would you do that? We had a perfectly good deal.
We had, but we were supposed to get out of here. And you
There's
cannot
nothing I can
say
do.
that for sure.
I can assure you your stay at the palace will be most pleasant. The captain simply takes interest on those who pass through the gates, and especially people of your stature. He simply wants to know who you are, where you're from, what your business is, and where you're going. Answer those questions, and you'll be on your merry way. As long as you can, of course, afford the taxes and fees to leave the city.
Of course.
Well, that is part of the deal.
Yes, you said that you were going to ensure.
I will honor that part. Yes. I will ensure that you can leave the city once you have permission.
Alive and unspoiled.
Alive and unspoiled. Yes, of course. Um,
Just to
I mean,
verify, though,
yes.
there is not a single respectable inn in your city that you could vouch for?
Oh, there is, but uh, um, why though? You will be staying at the palace. The captain will have it no other way. Of that I can assure you.
Does the captain already know that we're here?
Oh, you can be most assured that he does.
That's probably true. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I guess we'll have our end of the deal. And once you complete yours, we'll share. If you don't complete it, then I guess we'll have to share earlier.
And the matter of the jewelry.
I gesture towards Goldie's brooch. Do you need more than this?
That is very hard to part with. It's very pretty. I wanted to give it to Lenny.
Looks at it and says,
I can verify it is elven make.
but it's just metal. There's no precious gemstones in here. There's no. Mm, I mean, I'll melt this down for a copper. What are you trying to pull here?
You didn't give specifics, as far as I know, from what Goldie told us.
You said elf jewelry, and
Yeah.
that's what they graced us with. I am sorry if you feel offended by this. Maybe you don't know enough to appreciate good jewelry. That is your problem, sir. Maybe
I'll,
you're
I'll
not
even
as important.
I'll even take the one off of my cloak and say, "Look, now you've got cufflinks."
Because they're so small.
You guys can make a persuasion check.
Oh, who's got the best? Who's got the best?
It's Goldie. Goldie's got the best persuasion. That's why
I
No,
she's
don't
with the
know.
negotiation group.
not me.
Oh,
Not me.
so I could give you.
Oh,
Then.
oh.
Can
Well,
I?
you
Can we
were
help each
offering
other?
that as well, so maybe you were assisting her in the
Yeah,
bargaining.
I'm going to say this is a straight roll because you have assistance, but it's just a piece of metal. He
Gotcha.
was looking for a lot more.
But it's elven made. Part of the deal.
Oh, jeez, Louise.
Oh yes.
That's a good roll, though.
He got offended when I said he didn't know enough.
So he looks at so he now has two of these brooches in his hands. Says, Elven made, eh?
Yes.
And I don't suppose you have one too? And he looks over at you, Eucalio.
I mean, I don't have a problem with overpaying him with what I know is just a basic brooch. So I'm like, yes, I have one too, and I'll pull it out of my stuff and
Basically, elven buttons.
yes, elven buttons.
Yes. Very nice indeed. We have
Mhm.
ourselves a deal. Your cobbler will be free at midnight at the North Gate. Now you will be guests at the Red Palace.
How are we going to see him leave the North Gate?
I can sneak one of you out to the servants' store. Any
I'll
more
look
than
at the
one,
others.
and it would be too difficult. So one
Well,
of
if
you.
stealth is necessary on that journey, and I kind of look at Turk,
I
I think it should
volunteer.
be you.
I volunteer.
All right.
Very well then. Midnight, servants' store. Don't be late.
Ooh.
And us out the other door. And then you'll have the rest of the information you're looking
No, well, you'll
um,
be leaving in the morning after a good breakfast.
for. I'm excited for that.
I need to lose this dude. I need to call Fando. We need to lose this dude for a second.
Wait till it
All
gets
right.
dark. Wait till it gets dark.
So he says, shall we then? The Red Palace awaits.
Think of the snacks.
All
I
right.
eat
So
so much less frequently than the two of you do. That's not motivation for me.
um,
Well, hopefully this is just a red palace and not a red wedding, right?
I know, right?
ouch. So Zurich, you see them starting to move off as you are mingling so well with the locals. Do you want to follow?
I do. And I'll
All
keep an
right.
eye out for the sisters while I do. I assume
The
they follow
sisters,
me.
the sisters don't leave. They're within 10 feet of you at all times.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
just kind of hovering.
All right.
Um, which
Just chill.
kind of almost blows your cover, but they're very good at blending in
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Okay.
But you also notice that you still have a trail. Lots of people watching you guys.
Local celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you're following them, and Moonstalker, as you're sitting there watching, you haven't seen anyone leave or enter the Red Palace, but you do see your friends approaching.
I'm going to sit down. Um, I'm going to approach Lady Eucaliel.
I will say you do know the watch lieutenant is still with us,
I
along with
know,
the guards.
I know.
Okay.
How close do you
And
get to you, Kaliel?
I'm walking up to her.
Okay. As you approach her, Lieutenant Brass kind of steps in your way, and he's a good-sized guy, but I mean, you're a good, solid, probably half foot taller than him, easily.
Look
And
down at him.
and he just kind of holds his hand up and, excuse me, you need to back off, sir.
I need to speak with my friend.
Oh, no.
Lieutenant Brass looks over his shoulder and looks at you. You have a friend.
Does not an elf have a friend everywhere they go?
He turns back to you.
Certainly hobbits do.
Interesting.
I'm not paying any attention to the hobbits at all.
And who am I to stand between friends? And he backs away, and he intentionally puts himself like within 2 feet of both of you so he can hear what you guys have to say to each other.
That's fine. And I'm going to approach and say, Lady Eucalio, bow my head. And in Sindarin, I'm going to say, I need to find Gwen
He
inside.
immediately stops you, says, please, speak the common tongue while in the presence of the guard.
I will just nod as like, yes, I heard your message. You can speak in common and say whatever you want.
I was greeting her in the proper manner.
Of course you were.
It
Now,
has been a long time since I've seen you, lady. I just wanted to say hello since I saw you walking in the streets. I see that you are busy. I will leave you at that. And I'll bow and back away.
Of course. Until we meet again.
you notice this entire time, um, Lieutenant Brass had had his hand on his sword hilt.
I just kind of like look over and say, I appreciate that your promise of protection isn't a lie.
I must protect my investment, must I not?
Of course.
And this is, before we do enter, I would remind you of our deal. Should you reveal the nature of our deal or speak of it in any fashion so that the captain might get wind of what is at hand here,
Of
I
course.
can assure you, you will not leave this city alive.
And just as a question, once we are inside the palace, are we going to have free reign of the palace or are we going to be locked in rooms?
They will be very nice rooms,
So
probably the
we
nicest you'll
are
find in
being
Tharbad.
taken prisoner. I see.
I'm gonna look at him. Hold on, hold on, hold on. You just threaten. Are you more important than the captain that you can threat if someone makes a deal with him? Just so I'm straight on this. Just so I know not to say anything.
He bends down to your level, Goldie, and all facade of niceness and snarkiness is left, and he is just pure sinister and malice right now. He says, "Don't fuck with me, little girl. You know what I mean. You reveal any of our plan to the captain, and your heads will be on pikes by the morning.
It's
Am I
not in our
understood?"
best interest to reveal any dealings.
Mhm. I just wanted to make sure that I understood correctly, just so I know not to say anything. And I know that it's in your best interest to get us out of here, too, right? Because you want the reward, and we want to get out of here.
And as soon as you say that, he stands up, and that fake smile appears on his face again. And says, "Of course, I have the utmost faith in you and our contract. Now, shall I introduce you to the captain?"
I hope we'll also be able to meet his lovely wife.
Oh, she doesn't typically entertain guests, but
Hmm.
for those that are found or deemed to be interesting, perhaps you might make an appearance.
Understood.
Zurich, what are you and Anna and Orla doing?
Hovering.
Are you going to go inside, or try to go inside, follow them, or are you going to stay outside?
Stay outside.
Okay.
You guys
Uh,
could go to our safe person while you wait.
Who's the safe person?
Um, I thought I wrote their name down, but I didn't.
Amelia Kern.
Yes. We were told that that person would be someone safe who might be able to assist us, but to like not put them in jeopardy or anything. But like if you're just holding up there for a night or something,
Zurich
might
has a
be okay.
flash memory of a name, Amelia Kern, jump into his head.
That
And
was that was one of Gwyneth's people too, right?
Yeah, or Orthel's people.
I mean, that's what I meant. Sorry.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. Not necessarily people, but a contact within Tharbad, an old friend, basically.
Yeah. So that's someplace where you might be able to hole up while you wait for information.
Zurich will say to Anna and Orla, stay close. We're going to find Amelia.
Hey, you're going further away from the dangerous place. Relax.
Thank you for that.
So
That's good.
Hmm.
they'll
Yeah.
follow you through. And Moonstalker, are
Mhm.
you gonna go with Zurich then?
Yeah, I'll kind of follow along since I backed away, so I'll just kind of follow behind them.
Okay.
So you're back with us. Can I give you the hot rock back?
Yeah,
Not in the street, please.
I know, right? I was just
exactly.
thinking that. I think about it, and then I look around, and I'm like, oh shit, and I'll wait until we get someplace private.
That's fine.
All right. I'm going to start with the Red Palace. And as you walk up the front steps, um, Lieutenant Brass leads the way and knocks 1, 2, 3, pauses 1, 2. And then the door, you hear it unlatch and open the crack, and you see a guard standing on the other side. There's still 2 guards there, standing there too that allow him to knock in the first place. And they see him and they open the doors and you're escorted inside. As soon as you enter, you can smell the food, the smoke, the oil burning, and the raucous laughter of people enjoying themselves. And you're escorted into what looks to be a banquet hall. However, this banquet hall, in its heyday, could have been beautiful, but through years of neglect, the artwork has been vandalized and defaced, the rugs worn and torn, there are dogs wandering between the tables, children crawling along with them. The tables themselves are filled with uh, basically brigands and thieves dressed up as nobles. It's very clear that they are not nobility.
Hmm.
But they're all just having a great time. Just- you have not seen food at this volume before, and it is extraordinarily wasteful. They'll take a bite out of a chicken leg and toss it to the dogs. Um, and as as you walk in, no one really pays attention to you. They're too busy having a good time. You see, sitting at the far end of the room at the head table, a man. Where did he go? Here we go. Wearing what looks to be like mayor's type chains around his neck, sitting rather solemnly, over watching this feast, um, just kind of sipping from a glass of what looks to be some sort of wine. He sees you enter and sees you being escorted by Lieutenant Brass, and he waves you up to the red table. Lieutenant Brass bows deeply, and he kind of nudges to you guys. Bow.
I will bow, an elegant elven bow.
I will try to copy the elegant bow. Maybe stumble a little bit.
Turk just goes, shrugs, kind of bends over a little bit awkwardly.
And then he says, "Go on. Remember our deal." And he looks at you, Turk, and says, "Midnight. Don't forget." And he turns and walks away.
All right. And I guess I will lead the hobbits towards our host.
All right. Just bring him onto the map here so you can see what it looks like.
You have a map for this?
No.
Tactical.
There's no battle map.
Tactical
No
map.
battle map.
When there's
It's
not a
getting
battle
really
map, it
scared.
feels safer.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
No, I can't do it. Okay, never mind. I forgot we're not in Foundry.
Oh.
I have to bring it. If I want to bring his token on, then I have to actually
Mhm.
go to battle map mode. But anyway, so you see him there, and he looks at you and he says, "Oh, welcome," and he waves over some very harried and tired-looking servants to find a seated table for you all, and to get food and wine or ale.
I see.
It's a
I
pleasure
will.
to meet you. I've heard so much about you.
I would
Already?
love to hear what you've heard about us. Hopefully, good things.
Oh, only good things. Of course, welcome to my humble abode. I am your host, Captain Gurnow, and he gives you a bow. Um, he's a older man, probably approaching 70, but he's still quite burly. You can see at
Mhm.
one point, like in his youth, he was probably a really big guy. Um, he's got some stubble on his face. Looks a little rough, but
Mm-hmm.
he's still wearing noble clothes, and he manages to pull it off in a very weathered kind of way. Um, and his manners kind of belie what you see, the chaos in front of you in the
Yeah.
feasting hall. He's the only one that seems to have some modicum of manners.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, tell me what brings you to my grand city.
We are just passing through, honestly, along
Passing
the
through.
north-south road. That's
Oh, you
right.
are from Bree, then.
We have come from Bree, yes.
Tell me, how is that quaint little town? As he starts picking at some grapes.
It's been weeks since we've been there, but it looked fine when we were there.
As quaint as it's ever been.
And he turns as if he's noticing the hobbits for the first time. Ah, Shire folk. It's been so long since I've met a true hobbit. One not corrupted by coin or greed or how. Oh, I hear wonders of your leaf. You wouldn't happen to have any on you, would you?
Well, in fact, we do. Would you like to
Yeah.
share a pipe with us?
Uh, I would, I would be honored. And he yells at us, "Fetch my pipe!"
I will give him some of mine. I will not mention that it's my family's though. And just this is some of the best leaf we have in the Shire. It's so nice to live there. And I am so pleased to hear that someone so far away heard about it. It's just so pleasing to meet someone who can share
Oh,
the simple pleasures.
the leaf from the Shire is legendary. Of course, I've heard of it. Now, tell me, what is this old Toby or is it? What is the name of the other one?
Long
Oh,
bottom leaf.
that's the one.
Longbottom. So, which one is this? Just so I know,
It's the long bottom, right? Yes.
it's Longbottom. Is that the better one?
I think so. It's, well, here's the secret. If you share with good company, all of it is fantastic. However, when you're alone on the road, this one, it just feels more like the Shire. I had
I
some friends that work there, and I mean, we started a little early. Don't tell anyone. But it just reminds me of my childhood and my friends.
Oh, wait. And it says, "Oh, wait. Don't tell me, ladies smoke in the Shire."
Pipe out. Of course we do. It's
That's unheard of. Don't let my wife hear that now. She'll be stealing my leaf now too. And he's,
well,
Where is your good woman, by the way?
I was gonna ask.
oh, she normally doesn't bother with dinner time. As he kind of looks over this crowd, and you can see a couple of bandits just getting into a tussle, and see a knife actually being drawn. It's just, she
does
finds it
she
rather distasteful.
does she dine privately in somewhere a little quieter, I suppose?
Yeah, yeah, you could say so. Um, uh, Please excuse the buffoonery, but they're good men for the most part.
Clearly, they are enjoying food with friends.
Exactly. And as you say that, one of the men gets stabbed and he starts rolling on the ground bleeding.
I don't say a word.
Not turning around.
Well, good captain, we don't have enough leaf to go around, so perhaps we can retire to a more private location and enjoy our good pipes together.
He pauses for a moment. No, no, you don't understand. As captain of Tharbad, I must make my presence felt and known, and this is for appearance. As tedious as it may be, this is part of my duties. As he throws back another glass of wine.
Well,
They seem to take it very
perhaps
seriously.
perhaps we can have dinner with your good woman.
He's gonna
Uh,
chop our heads.
I'll notify her of your presence, and she's a woman of her own mind. If she chooses to meet you, then I'm sure she'll let me know and make an insight check, the three of you.
Ah, yes, but pipeweed, we get inspiration from that, correct? How does that exactly work again?
Now, you haven't had a chance to smoke it long enough yet.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you have to smoke for like an hour, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have one though from when we smoked at the thing.
Thank God for my high insight.
This is the only game I know where smoking weed will give you inspiration.
It makes you
Should we
better at
develop
things.
no, I think I'm fine.
All right. Eucalil, you can tell he's a little. You can tell the way he said things. He's being deferent, like showing deference to his wife. But you also get the sense that he's a little henpecked, and he's maybe a little even afraid of her.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Then I will just kind of picking up on the vibes, just sort of kind of calm the other two down and say, perfectly fine. We can enjoy a meal here with you, and if she chooses, we can enjoy some quiet conversation with her after.
absolutely.
That sounds like a wonderful idea. Perhaps for a brandy or a sherry afterwards, and
Of course.
in our drawing room.
Yes.
That's what that's what
Do you
noble people
have
do,
a
right?
library here, by the way?
Ah, not in the Red Palace per se. This lot here, I don't think they could read two words between the lot of them. So a library here would be a bit of a waste, but there is one on the South Bank.
I see.
But tell me, what is a high elf? I imagine from the fabled Rivendell, and two hobbits of the Shire doing in my humble city.
Well, your city is the best place to cross the river, and we are heading down the north-south road.
And where might you be going?
God, hang on. Let me double check the map so that I can see where I want to say that we're going.
Just open the map for that reason.
I want to say that we are going. Well, the north-south road heads towards Gondor, so we could just be like, we're heading in the direction of Gondor.
You're going to Gondor. That is quite the journey. I mean,
It is. But we met a friend. Well, I think I call everyone friends. Anyways, he was from there and he just told the most marvelous stories about there. And
After we heard those stories, we couldn't help but
exactly.
take a journey there. Of course, you've, I'm sure, noticed elves dwindling And soon it may be my time to leave, and I would hate to have not visited that beautiful city.
Of course. Can
And
the two of you make a deception check for me, please?
we needed some help. I'm not very good with talking to people.
I'm trying to distract him with the pipe. So can I contribute?
Oh dear. All right, let's
I'll
see.
blow smoke in his face. Joking.
Where is my deception?
Jesus.
Okay. Oh no.
I am gonna use the inspiration I have from before. Because
Okay.
it goes away after, like, for a long rest, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh
It's
I will
dear.
use it.
I would give myself um I would give myself a rhyme of lore, but I don't know that I can manage to sort of mutter a brief stanza of
Prayer.
something and
Unless
make
you
it seem
make it
normal.
into your answer somehow. But
Yeah, that's true. Sure. I will attempt to, it's like people making haikus on the spot about things. I attempt to make a poem on the spot about the journey to Gondor in the
okay.
hopes of enhancing my deception. I'm gonna use one of my rhymes of lore, and that's
As you
gonna
go
give
to
me
Gondor.
that's gonna give me a B6 to whatever I roll. So let me roll the
That's not
D6.
bad.
We're smoking weed on our way to Gondor.
Roll. Ah,
Nice.
Damn.
All right.
beautiful. That was worth it.
Well, that is quite the journey indeed. Fascinating story. You are certainly a very adventurous bunch, and I'm honored that you would stop here in my city and be my guests for the evening. I would love to hear your tales along the road. Surely you must have had some adventures on the way.
Hmm.
Uh,
Quite some adventures.
certainly some larger than others. Our dear Goldie here just recently fell into the river. We
Oh,
fished her out, but
are you
That's
okay?
very nice. I am. Yeah, it was freezing cold. I managed to get better, and I don't want to do that again.
No, I dare
Please.
say the Grey Flood is
why we decided
hardly a river.
to head through Tharbad so that we would not deal with issues of the river again.
Of course,
Hmm.
of course. And you had no trouble along the road, so no bandits, no rangers or
Well, there
any
was that
such.
troll.
Yes, well, that wasn't along the road though, but
Yeah.
we did encounter a troll.
Troll. There's a troll that is it within the boundaries of my city?
Oh, certainly not.
Oh,
No.
Far
okay.
north.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to hear, but unfortunate that you had that encounter. I am glad to see that you're well and safe.
Hmm.
Indeed.
Um,
Yep.
so mm, you are tourists then?
Indeed.
We're.
I feel like I've always been a tourist in life, and I have lived a long time.
It started like tourists. It started more. For me, I am just so curious on everywhere stories, and I'm just trying to collect as many as I can. And I have found out along the road that not everyone is as truthful as hobbits back in the Shire. And we hear rumors from here and rumors from there, and we heard the rumor in Bree, so we went to Bree, and it was just a bad rumor. And then we heard rumors about here, and then I fell in the rumor, and we were like, you know, I think these people are just like the rumors are not true. And we heard good ones and bad ones, and I just wanted to see them for myself. We're just trying to find out stories and about our people and where we live. As you said, adventures bring tales.
I am a bit of a scholar. I document.
If you want
Uh,
stories, I have stories for you.
I would love to
It'd be
hear.
wonderful.
And then he begins to regale you in all his great deeds that he has done for this city since he
I will pull out my
became- well,
notebook, not my calligraphy set, but my notebook that I've been like taking notes in, and I will just If I hear him say anything actually important, I will write it down, but otherwise, I'm just kind of
No,
pretending
it's
to
basically
know.
construction project here, construction project there.
Yeah, yeah.
How he managed to get some people into indentured servitude to get
Ah,
the
Mhm.
work done.
Mhm.
How important the taxes are, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So as he goes on and on about his greatness, I'm going to
Hmm.
switch back to Zurich and Moonstalker as you make your way towards Amelia's house. Now, you were given the location as to where her house was, so you know where you're going. And you approach this building. It kind of sticks out from the surrounding buildings. Most of the buildings around here are very drab, gray, brown. Hers is distinctly painted white and looks like it's a relatively fresh coat of paint. So her house sticks out and is very well maintained as opposed to her neighbors, which are a little more run down. How would you like to approach her house?
Zerk will glance around, see if we've kept our followers.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm. What do you think, Moonstalker? Just a straight up knock?
Are there any alleyways around here?
There's lots of alleyways around.
Let's try to cut down through some alleyways and try to lose the follower or stop followers before we go there.
Anna kind of gets the gist of what you're trying to do and says, you know, there's a faster, easier way to deal with this.
Sure.
Fine, it is done. And Anna and Orla go off into the darkness.
We keep going.
Okay.
What are we walking up to the house? Are we walking up to the front door?
Going through that. We'll keep going through the alleys and then come back out on the street and go over to the house.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Guys, making a couple more perception checks for me, please. All right. Moonstalker, you notice that your tails have disappeared.
Okay.
Oh God. No screams. That makes it even worse.
Do a knock on the door really, nonchalantly but quickly before we pick up new tails.
Okay. You knock on the door and you see a young woman answer the door in a kind of like a maid's outfit. And says, yes, can I help you?
Yes, I'm looking for Amelia.
And you are
I am Moonstalker.
Moonstalker. Very well. Please wait here. And she closes the door and you hear her walk away. And in the meantime, you see Anna and Orla uh, kind of reappear behind you.
Don't
And
question it. Don't know what happened. Don't care.
and the door opens again and says, um, she'll see you. Please come in.
Thank you.
And she notices the two women suddenly behind you. Says, oh,
They're with
there's
me.
more of you. Okay,
Yes.
okay, okay, very well. And you're escorted into this beautifully appointed room, lobby area. It's like night and day when you walk into this house. Um, it's like marble type floors. You see pieces of beautiful art, sculptures, pottery, hang like paintings on the wall. Everything here exudes wealth and taste, which is completely different than anything you've seen in Tharbad so far. And she kind of motions you into like a sitting room with beautifully upholstered furniture, nice carved mahogany like table. Says, please, I'll reach over with some tea, and Lady Amelia will be here in one moment. Please make
Thank you.
yourself at home.
Thank you. And I'll pull my pipe out and start smoking.
Okay.
Zurich is uncomfortable by how neat and tidy things are. He'll just stand there, not wanting to mess anything up.
Okay. You can see Anna and Orla like picking up every little trinket, looking at it. It's almost as if they're casing the place.
Yeah, I figured. Make
A
sure
few
they don't
moments.
pocket anything, actually. Oh,
Uh,
cough and make a clear my throat noise if they look like they're going to pocket something.
no, they don't seem to be stealing anything. And a few moments later, a woman, perhaps maybe in her early 40s, dark hair, very nice looking red gown with gold trim, walks in. Her hair is kind of pulled up into a bun that falls with loose braids kind of down her face and down her back. And she moves with a lot of grace um, and ease. And she walks into the room and says,
I'll
ah,
stand up and walk over to her and go down on one knee and bow and say, "My lady."
she laughs. I am no lady. Please stand up. Take a seat, and tea will be here shortly. Moonstalker, I take it.
Yes.
Pleasure to meet you. Orthel mentioned you. It's so nice to put a face to a name. And your friends.
This is Zurich, right? I said it
Yep.
right? Yeah, Zurich. And this is Anna, and I don't remember the other one's name.
And the other one says, it is okay. My name is not important.
Well, no, I meant me. I didn't mean the character. I got short-term memory issues, so
Yeah. It's Orla, but
Orla, yeah,
our
Orla.
names are not important. They still say that. Oh, okay.
And I'm gonna say something in distance and darn to see if she understands.
What do you say?
Um, hey, I'll say Megavon.
Um, she looks a little perplexed and says, "Oh, I am terribly sorry. I don't speak Elvish. I never. It is a fault. I always wanted to learn, but never seemed to have enough exposure to it. Someone to teach me, perhaps. Um, if you don't mind, if we speak in the common tongue, I hope that's okay with you."
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
I was
what
just
can
trying
I
to
do
figure
for
out if
you?
she spoke Elvish, so that's how I was figuring to do it.
What can I do for you?
Um, we are traveling through town with some information that is going south, and some friends of ours tried to use information we had gleaned from someone that lived here to get through town easier, and in turn, it has entered them into the Red Palace. So we are waiting for them to exit, and Orthel said that your house would be a place for us to be able to come if we needed to get out of the streets for a while.
She was certainly correct about that. And your friends are at the Red Palace, then are they in trouble?
I don't think they are. Um, we were given a name of the watch lieutenant and to use someone
Oh,
else's name with him, and he
Lieutenant
took them
Rust.
there. Yes,
Ah,
apparent, but they didn't seem distressed. So, and I need to speak with someone in the house as well, and have been part of that information over to them.
I see. Well, you're most welcome. in my humble home, I'll have rooms prepared for the two of you, or the four of you. Sorry. Um, as for your friends in the Red Palace, I'm afraid they're beyond my help. Um,
What do you
if they
think
are,
might become of them?
well, if it was Lieutenant Brass that brought them to the Red Palace, they have clearly brought some attention to themselves to warrant an audience with the captain. I can't imagine it would be anything good, though.
Mm, that warrants
Whether
one
they're in
beer.
any immediate danger or not, though, I don't know. Perhaps he'll just determine how much they're worth and excise a tax on them as much as he can before they leave.
Hmm.
And if he feels that they have any particular talents or skills or intrinsic value, he may make that tax so high that they cannot leave.
Well, that doesn't sound
Understood.
very good.
Hopefully that is not something that will happen, but
Well, if it comes to that, and I might have a way or two to deal with that. And she gives you a wink.
we would appreciate any assistance if it is necessary. Hopefully it will not be, though. Our friends appear quite capable of taking care of themselves, it seems.
I'm sure they are. Sure. Um, and as the tea arrives, she pours each of you a cup. Um, you can see Anna and Orla still standing off to one side. And she just kind of looks up at them and says, "Sons, please have a seat. You're making me a little uncomfortable." um, and they reluctantly find a seat on in the room area. And she says, "So, tell me, I I'm not one to pry, and your business is your own, but I do always love to hear news from beyond Tharbad. Where are you from?" And Anna immediately chimes in, "That is none of your business." And he says, "I see. Um, do they speak for all of you?"
No, ma'am. They don't. They
No,
speak for themselves.
they
They
do
have
not.
their own counsel to keep.
You can see they're just throwing Anna and Orla are throwing daggers at you in their
Yeah.
eyes. It's,
Say, as you know, I'm from Greater Carolina area.
yes, yes. And how are the roads these days? Are they still filled with thieves and petty bandits? And
Yes, the road is definitely treacherous. There are dangers about,
mm,
both of the humankind and of the other kind as well. It is definitely a time of awareness if you're going to be on the road. And you
indeed, but you seem
definitely
to
should be
be
traveling with a well armed party if you are on the road.
indeed, and you do seem to match that equipment. Sorry, description with your equipment. My, oh my, it does seem like you are here to hunt for orc. Um,
That
believe
is
me,
my
there aren't.
my life's wish to free the land of every last orc there is.
Oh, wouldn't that be a blessing? But then, of course, that might put the likes of me out of business. Um, and you, Master Dwarf, where do you hail from?
Well, I'm from Bree, where I own my own business. Prior to that, the Blue Mountains.
Ah, okay. Yes, I was wondering. Bree, not typically a home for dwarven kind, but
No, I left the Blue Mountains some years ago. It's not quite the same as it used to be.
It's been quite some time since I've been to the Blue Mountains. Oh, wait. Um, what part of the Blue Mountains were you from exactly?
Uh,
Harmelt is the name of your
Harmelt. Thank
Harmelt.
you. I will say Harmelt. I'm trusting this person.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I did not have any business from where you're from that would have made things a little awkward.
What business are you in?
A burglary, of course.
Zerk's eyes will get real big. As if to say, you just came right out and said it.
I'm sure Anna and Orla probably perked up as well, huh?
I mean, yeah, I'm not going to say anything, but my expression says it all. You know, saucer
Burglary
eyes
is
at
a
the fact
noble
that
profession, nothing to be ashamed of.
who are you burgling and for what reasons?
Well, a woman does have her standards, and she looks kind of waves her hands around at all the beautiful things around. Now, there's so many cheap knockoffs, these thugs that rule Tharbad now. They're not burglars, they're thugs. They're thieves, they're brigands, they're curmudgeons. Now, burglary, now there's an art.
Well, mine just happens to be stonework, and if yours is burglary, so be it.
I'm glad to
Mine
hear
is
it.
hunting orcs.
Ah, I wish, I wish I had the energy and the vigor of youth to experience such adventures once again. I miss those days. But tell me, your companions, are they also from Bree?
One is from. I'm assuming you guys have been saying Ukiel is from Rivendell, right? Is that what I've been hearing?
Or is she asking about the sisters, or does she know that
No,
we're
no, she's
witch?
asking about
She's asking about the people in the red.
The hobbits.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the ones at the Red Palace.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm saying, is that right? Have I heard you guys say that since I've been with you about anything about Rivendell or
Yeah.
not?
Zerk will nod.
Well, I'm actually saying this out of character, so
Yeah, I think Eucaliel has been trying to be very careful about where she's
where
from.
she's from. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
like it's clear that she's not gonna be able to hide that she's an elf, but she doesn't unless someone specifically says it, she's not gonna say that she's from
gotcha.
Rivendell.
As far as I know, the other companions are from Bree as well, are they not? Zerk?
Zerk will nod.
So they're men folk then.
Hobbits. 2 hobbits. And a lady, yes.
2 hobbits. Oh, don't get me started on hobbits. Don't.
Zerk
That
chuckles.
hobbits. They think they are natural burglars. What was the name of that charlatan? That Bilbo Baggins, who happens to walk away from a dragon's horde. Now it's pure luck that. Oh my goodness, and they call him a burglar. Don't get me started on hobbits.
So I take it you don't like hobbits?
I don't like hobbits that call themselves burglars because
Fair enough.
they. No. No. But of course, the hobbits in your company are not burglars, are they?
Not as far as I know.
Zerk just chuckles again.
Well, then, I'm sure we'll get along splendidly then. I'm looking forward to meeting them. Hopefully, if they managed to leave the Red Palace alive and in one piece. It'd be very nice. I'll have them over for tea. In the meantime, is there anything else I can help you with?
Uh, no, we would appreciate your hospitality and assistance at our time of need. We're hoping our friends will make their way here and find us if they get out of the Red Keep
I will send one of my birds to keep an eye on the Red Palace. Um,
or palace. Sorry.
and I will notify you at the earliest time when I catch wind of your friend's collective fate. In the meantime, please, I would ask that you not leave and enter my premises. There are many eyes within Tharbad, as you may have noticed already, and I would rather not have that attention.
Yes, we made sure that eyes were not upon us before we came to your home.
Zurich nods.
I appreciate that. Um, she looks over at the two sisters and says, "Is that going to be a problem?" And they just look. Who's holding the documents now?
Zurich still has them.
Still has them
I
right now. Yeah.
haven't had a chance to give them back to
All
Moonstalker
right,
yet.
Zurich. You notice that they're flanking you. They're now standing, and they're standing on either side of you.
Yeah.
They you clearly, you guys know them well enough, and they know, you know their mission well enough to feel they do not trust this woman who has admitted to be a burglar, and you're holding on to some very important documents. So they are not going to let you and the documents out of their sight while you stay here.
Well, they're burning a hole in Zurich's pocket. It's all he can do till he gets a chance to get a loan and give them back to Moonstalker.
Yep.
All right. So after your tea and biscuits and your nice little smoke, Moonstalker,
Hmm.
you're escorted to these beautifully appointed rooms. Sorry. These are probably outside of Rivendell, the nicest rooms you'll find in Eriador. It's almost like you're in a palace here. I'm going to switch back to our Hobbit friends and Elf back
Before you do
in.
that, I got a question. How do
Mhm.
I alter, like, because I've got, 10 pipe weed and I just use one. How do I alter that?
Uh, hold on. Can you guys
I'll
hold
see.
on 1 second?
Yeah. Mhm.
Something.
Are you trying to alter it
To
in
reduce
alchemy
one.
or on your character sheet?
Well, in alchemy, yeah.
So if you click on an item that you added to your equipment,
Hmm.
if you click on it, then you select view. On the top left corner, there'll be a
Oh,
little
the edit
wrench
button.
that you hit edit, and then you can change the number.
Thank you. That's what I was missing.
Yep.
Thank you very much. All
Mhm.
right.
Sorry about that. My
No,
cat was knocking stuff over. Just want to make sure she didn't break anything.
understandable.
All right. Sorry. Your question.
We
Did you
figured it.
figure?
We figured it
Okay.
out. Yep.
Cool.
Thanks.
All right. So back to the Red Palace then. Um, back to the banquet hall, where Captain Gurnow has regaled you for the past 2 hours straight, nonstop. He hasn't even stopped to breathe, practically.
Is the banquet
All the
hall like
goodness.
emptying out at all, or are people like
No,
passing out where they sit, or what's going on there?
people are
Have your
passing out for a little while, waking up, having another drink, smoking some more stuff. It's
Yep.
like this seems to be their job.
Of course it is.
Yeah. So after a couple of hours, he finally starts to wind down. And so that's how I became Captain Gurnow of Tharbad, and how I've transformed this city into the marvel that it is today, and positioned it for the greatness of tomorrow. And you can see here he's starting to slur his speech, and he's getting a little drunk, and the pipe weed's hitting him.
Yep. Well, that's a fascinating tale.
What a wonderful job you've done. Amazing.
Yes, it is.
Shall we retire to the drawing room. I think that's what he said it was.
Oh, right. Yes. Um, and he kind of ushers over a servant. It's, um, can you go see if the lady is of the house is available? There are some guests here that wish to speak to her. Um, tell her one of them is an elf. And the servant scurries off. And a few moments later comes back and whispers in his ear, "Ah, she has agreed to grace us with her presence. But let us proceed to the drawing room." And he kind of lurches up and stumbles a little bit and as he gets up, everyone in the room kind of notices he stands up and they'll let out a cheer. Yay, Captain Gurnell.
Yeah.
And he kind of gives them a wave. And he escorts you into the side room. It's a little quiet. You can still hear the noise in the adjoining room,
Hmm.
the breaking of cutlery and plates and whatnot. Just kind of mayhem in there. But in this room, it's a little quieter. Everything in this house is worn out. Nothing. It used to look nice at one point, but like there's rips in the furniture and the upholstery.
Hmm.
It just seems uncared for. Um, but you see, as you enter this room and get your seats, and he starts serving you drinks, coming in from a door from the opposite end is this lady here. I'll show you what she looks like. Lady Stock. There it is. Lady Stock, sorry. There we go. Another like elderly looking woman, likely in her 70s, white hair tied up in buns,
Hmm.
wearing a nice blue robe with frilled collar. And she's the epitome of grace. She walks in, very kind of austere face. She just all the noise and mayhem going on in the next room doesn't seem to faze her.
Hmm.
And she is attended to by a servant at all times, and she kind of wipes down, brushes off the dust from the chair before she sits, and as she sits down, says, "A pleasure to meet you."
I will bow again
Yep.
and
Same.
says, "It is our pleasure to meet you."
She looks over at her husband, who's just kind of trying to lean nonchalantly on the mantle of a fireplace, just kind of wobbling there, and says, "It's okay, dear. Let I'll talk to these wonderful guests in private now. You go back to your dinner." He just lets out a belch and walks out.
Nice.
It's, so you can just see her like a look of relief almost crosses her
Hmm.
face as he leaves. And says, "Now, what can I do for you?"
Well, uh, honestly, I was hoping to get to know you a little better. Your circumstances seem interesting, and if there's anything we can do to make your life a little bit better, at least briefly, perhaps just conversation,
And why do you think I need conversation? Have you
does
seen the
not,
state of this city? It needs more than just conversation, my dear.
of course, but I am not capable of providing everything that this city needs.
Of course not, but you must be good at something.
Unfortunately, as many people have told me over the many years of my life, I'm not necessarily especially good at anything except for living.
That is probably the saddest thing I have ever heard.
Thank you.
And what of you? Uh, and your names, please.
I am Eucaliel, and then I gesture to the other two.
Mr. Underhill.
I was gonna go with Callie, but I was like, they know I'm an elf. I might as well just use my real name.
Uh, and I am Goldie. And I
Mr.
think I was
Yes.
gonna say our biggest um the biggest thing we're good at is that we are traveling by in bringing news and messages of the places we've been and the places we're going.
Hmm.
Indeed. News
That is.
passing through, messages to carry on elsewhere. We'd be
And
more
tell me,
than
what nature of news do you have to carry and offer?
Well, right now we are traveling by because we have encountered several not so savory people on the road. And we found a friend that told us that going in this direction would allow us to meet some of his friends. I really don't know names, but we found, well, we were attacked by orcs not too far from here. And
Orcs,
we
you say?
also encountered a troll and not so savory humans that pretended to be someone else. And then it turns out that they weren't. And it's just a mess. I was very happy at the Shire, but I think that this job, it's not really a job. I'm having fun, but um, it's very important.
You're having. I'm struggling to understand. You say you were attacked by orcs and trolls and.
We found remnants of an attack of a troll. And I don't know if we have any of the arrows with us, but that was very scary. We're very good at hiding, it's just us, so it's very easy to hide. And then the troll, we had lots of help real quick, so we were able to just run. Because,
Oh,
again,
if I'm not
so
mistaken, the orc and troll attacks were up north, further up the river.
okay, so none of my concern then.
They could be heading south. I do know that there are signs that trolls are moving further away from their natural habitats, spreading their ground, so it's always best to stay on alert for that.
Well, we have our own trolls here. Um, if you haven't met one yet, consider yourself lucky. There's something of a nuisance in these parts.
Indeed. Um,
And you, good sir, Mr. Underhill, what are you good at? You have one companion who is good at nothing, and another who seems to like getting or experiencing life threatening situations and considers that her job. What is yours?
Well, I think my good cousin is probably underestimating her green thumb. So, but maybe perhaps I speak beyond my own knowledge. So, um, myself, oh, I'm a very humble fellow who has had a rough life and has had to go and dig out latrines every now and then.
Oh, yes, a very noble but underrated occupation. Very much appreciated. I'm sure the city will find good use for such services.
Ah, yes, but I've already heard that you have those people in your city.
Oh, not enough, my dear. I can assure you of that.
well,
Have
I
you
think
not gone to the banks of the Grey Flood yet? Oh my goodness, the stench down there.
Well, you're very fortunate to have a river that washes things out.
Indeed, but we do need more skilled laborers like yourself.
Oh, no, no, no. With my arthritis, those days are past.
That is why he is journeying with us. He has set aside his old occupation and
Oh, nonsense. You're never too old to work. Look at me. I'm pushing 70 and I'm still as spry as ever.
some people don't have the privilege of good health, such as yourself.
No, with this I cannot disagree. Hmm, what shall we do with the three of you?
Oh, my back. Oh, oh.
Well, at the very least, y- we were sent here to stay with you, although we were planning on just passing through, not bothering anything. We're offering to answer questions about the places that we've been, bring messages to the places that we're going, but we
And where is
cannot
it that you
stay.
are going?
We are heading down the south along the north south road. So if there's any place along that path that you need to bring messages to,
Where is your final destination, or are you simply wandering aimlessly with no purpose?
well, our final destination is most likely going to be Gondor, but we do have stops planned along the way.
Gondor. And what business do you have in Gondor? Please don't tell me you're tourists.
My business in Gondor is my own, as I'm sure it is for the other two. But for the most
Lady,
part, I am, it is no lie to say, I am making a final journey.
if I may speak, ma'am, I'm pretty sure you've seen, as we've told you, how our surroundings are getting weird and dark every day that passes on. And I'm afraid to say that it seems like they're gonna be going everywhere. And you, as you said yourself, are having a hard uh, time in the city, trying to fix it and bring it to its prime. You're doing a fantastic job. However, you need help and you need voices around spreading what a good job you're doing in here. We can be those voices. The rumors outside of Tharbad are not great, most of them. We decided to ignore them because, well, we had to see things for ourselves. And on this occasion, well, I'd be happy to spread the good rumors of this place. Our final destination right now is Gondar. We have a meeting to attend with some friends. He sent us there. He wants to let his family know that he's safe. And on our way, we are just picking up information where we can so we can bring it back to our friends here.
So you are rumor mongers then?
No, we're messengers. We bring information. We let people know that the orcs and the trolls are traveling south. Some people don't know that. Some people are not ready for it.
Interesting. Interesting proposition. But let me think on it. I'll take your words under advisement. Um, but I understand you wished an audience with me, but is this all you wished to convey to me?
We had no official request to make from you. We had just hoped to, as she said, share information.
And
Which
speak
is
to the head of Tharbad and not just the muscle.
Hmm. Can you make a persuasion check for me, please? And you can do it with advantage because you had the help of your friends with you.
yes.
Come on.
21.
Nice.
I'm sweating.
Very well. Typically, those with some modicum of skill who pass through the walls of Tharbad are put to use. Their skills valued and part of the greater plan and glory of Tharbad and restoring it to glory. But for the three of you, an elf with no skills,
It's really
I
deep.
take the pain because I'm doing it for our own safety. And also, Kaliel kind of feels like that right now.
a reckless hobbit, and a shoveler of refuse. Of the three of you, it strikes me as odd that the most skilled of you is at the lowest rungs of society. That is truly,
Pathetic.
I've never met a sadder trio of people. I do feel for the three of you, and it's a wonder that you're still alive, actually, and you've made it this far. That in itself is a testament. I would dare say, do not give up. There's still some strength in you. You shall find your purpose. As she looked directly at you, Eucalia. You shall.
I will just kind of like put like a slightly desperate look on my face and just nod slowly.
Everybody has a purpose, and once they find it, it is their obligation and their duty to perform it. And we have been lucky here in Tharbad to find people with such skills and put them to use. For that, they should be thankful.
Absolutely, they should.
Well, if there's nothing further, I shall retire and let you retire to your rooms too. You, of course, are free to stay here as our guests. But as you have so eloquently stated, you're all quite useless. I'll have to ask that you leave before breakfast tomorrow.
Of course, we would hate
We shall
to
do so.
overstay our welcome.
Before breakfast, we're not even worth tea and a crumpet.
Mr. Underhill, I'm sure we can find something to eat.
Well,
Not even an apple.
I'm just like, I have apples.
All right, and she gets up and leaves, and you can just hear her under her breath mutter to her servant, "Well, that was a waste of time."
I'm breathing a sigh of relief.
like Gold is thinking.
So badly.
Yeah, Gold is like, we survived. Let's just go. It's not thinking about food at all.
Mm-hmm. Does
Alright,
a
so you
servant
guys-
come to collect us to take us to our rooms?
Yes.
I think when the servant comes to collect us, I will. Okay, just double checking. Did Moonstalker say Gwen or did he say a longer name?
Gwen.
Gwen.
Okay. Then I will, when the servant comes to collect us, I will ask them if they know someone named Gwen at the Red Palace.
All right. She looks at you and Yes, I do. She's downstairs now. Shall I fetch her for you?
Uh, yes, if you could, please.
How
Very well.
just for clarification, how many Gwens do work or are present in the Red Palace?
I only know the one,
Okay.
and she kind of looks back and forth.
Yes,
Shall I?
please. Fetch
Okay,
her.
okay. And she scurries off.
And I will, when she scurries off, I will explain because he said it to me in Cinderin, and so no one else knows why I just randomly asked for a Gwen. And I'll just be like, Moonstalker requested that I search for someone named Gwen, so that's what we're doing.
All right. A moment later, you guys are in separate rooms, but do you guys want to meet together in one room right now, or?
If we're allowed to freely enter and exit our rooms, then yes, I would like us to be together in one room for the moment.
Yeah.
Also, does the room have a window that is capable of being opened?
Yes, they all do.
Okay,
And
good.
these are horrible, one step above jail cell. These types of
That's
these
what I
rooms.
figured. I was like, I bet you anything the other team is staying in a much nicer place than we are. It's fine.
Yep. Yep. So she comes back a moment later, and you see, following her, a young woman. I'll show you her picture here. Where is she? There we go. Dark hair, dark eyes, and it's a cloak pulled over, the hood pulled over her face.
Gotcha.
She walks in, gives a nod to the servant, and it's clearly a signal for her to leave. She closes the door behind her, looks at you. Do I know you?
No, but I'm assuming that you know a companion of mine. Moonstalker?
I've only heard the name.
Well, Moonstalker was not able to get inside the palace and requested that I find you for the purpose of meeting them. You know this city better than I do. I can get them a message about where to meet you. Tonight, preferably.
Perhaps I know this Moonstalker you speak of. Perhaps I could be willing to meet with them.
Clearly, you want something in return.
She just paused for a moment and says, I do not know you.
I am sorry, I was the only one that could be spared to get inside this building. Myself and my hobbit friends here. Yeah, no, I'm not tossing around I'm an elf, trust me. Some people, remember, they don't like elves.
Or Rangers.
Or rangers. So,
Fine.
keeping that quiet.
You can get a message to him.
I can. So I can provide details for a meeting location.
Tell him. Hold on, I'm just going to check my map here of Tharbad to see where a good place to meet would be. Tell him to meet me at the Bridge Inn.
The Bridge Inn? Okay.
At midnight.
At midnight.
I will not wait.
Understood. Thank you.
And she quickly slips out of the room.
Yeah, I didn't want to ask her too many questions. All right. At that, I'm going to go to the window and open it a crack and whistle for Fandel.
All right. Fandel comes fluttering to the windowsill.
All right. I will pull out a paper, my calligraphy set, really quickly write a note to Moonstalker. Um, and ooh, hmm, I actually need to send 2 notes, but I'll I don't want to send them both at the same time. So I will write a note for Moonstalker saying, met Gwen. She says, meet her at the bridge in midnight. She won't wait. And I'll just say, like, dark hair, dark eyes, cloak, spooky. um, and then I will, attach the note to Fandil, and um, because we knew where that house was,
Mhm.
and so I am going to tell Fandil to, like, someone gave us a map, right?
Yes. Orthel did.
Okay. So I'm literally maps their top-down view, which is what the bird sees anyway. So I'm gonna open up the map and be like, "This is where we are, Fandel. I need you to go here and for the look for our friends, either the dwarf, the tall, the new tall guy, um, and give them the note, and then come back. Get a bite to eat on your way if you want, because I have to send you out again immediately after."
All right. Ah. And he,
Yep.
and he takes off.
Of course, that whole thing, I'm literally like pointing at a map and cawing.
All right. Back to Moonstalker and Zurich. Do you guys just hang out in your rooms? I mean, if you guys want to hang out in the parlor, you're more than welcome to.
If we get a moment alone in either the parlor or the hallway walking to our rooms, I will give the papers, the documents back to Moonstalker.
And by alone, he means without anybody but the sisters.
Correct. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I assume we're not escaping their gaze,
No.
but certainly not not under the watchful eye of our host. And actually, I'm going to do a perception check to make sure we're not getting spied on.
All right,
I'd like
do
to
that.
kind of look over my shoulder to see that we're not getting spied on.
And if I
by
see
this-
him reaching into his armor to get the papers, I'm gonna do the same.
by
All
this
right.
burglar.
All right. Neither of you see sight nor sound of your host.
Watchful eyes. Okay. Then I'll reach into my cloak, pass the papers back to Moonstalker.
And I'll shove
Alright.
it back into my armor.
Okay. Anna says she will sleep in your room.
Okay.
Orla will stand guard at the door.
It's fine.
All right. So, anything else you guys want to do that evening before you hear a little knock knock at your window? Moonstalker?
Nope.
I'll raid the fridge, the icebox.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, she has the best stuff. She's got ice cream, cakes, pastries. And she's got like steaks. She's got it all. You guys are getting the right things here.
And what have we been eating?
Stale bread and watered down mead.
Luxury.
Red
Yeah, Zurich will fill his tummy and then go to bed.
meat on the bone.
All right, Moonstalker, you hear a little tap 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 on your window pane.
I will get up, put a hand on my sword, and or pick my sword up, actually, I guess, and go to the window and open it.
Anna stops you from doing that, pulls her stiletto out, and approaches the window herself.
Okay. I'll let
Please
her
don't
know.
kill my bird.
She throws open the window. I need you to roll for Vandal for me, please.
Oh no. Okay, hang on. Let me pull up his stats. Because he's. Let's see.
This will be in acrobatics or athletics.
All right, let me go to
Oh, yeah. I mean,
looking
you
for
got to beat a 2.
monsters.
Sorry, got to beat a
Let's
5.
search for Raven. Okay. Acrobatics or athletics. Analyze skill and perception. So we're gonna do. Okay, so it's gonna be a roll plus 2.
All right. You need a 3 or higher.
Okay. All right. Let's see. D20. Didn't they?
Oh, by the way, I was muted earlier and I went in and interrupted conversation. Never trust an elf!
Okay, so it's this plus 2. Oh my god.
Just made it. Just made it.
You said you needed a 3. You got a 3.
I
Yeah.
did.
All right. So you can just see like Anna's hand dart out as she tries to grab your Raven, but your Raven, Fando just managed to let out a squawk and just get out of her reach.
I'm gonna hear it when he comes back.
And then you can hear
I've
Anna's.
seen the bird before, correct?
Yeah.
I'll be like, hey, leave it alone.
Damn.
It's Eucalio's bird.
She's seen the bird too.
She backs off, lets Fandel enter the room and closes
I'll
the
put my
window.
arm out.
All right. Fandel hops onto your arm, and you see the note wrapped around. It's like,
I'll pull it out and read it.
all right.
And pet the bird on the back of his head. Say, everything okay with your master?
Caca.
I don't think he actually understands very much common. It's just I can speak bird.
I understand. I don't know that though, right? I just know he's an intelligent bird.
Yes. And it's
So,
true. Corvids are extremely intelligent.
Very intelligent.
So,
All right.
and take it back to the window and hold my arm out.
All right. Anna opens up the window for Fandel, and he flies out and promptly poops on her arm as he leaves.
Good job.
And I'm gonna look at Anna and say, well, I have to be at the bridge inn by midnight. What do you want to do? Do you want to sneak out, or do you want me to speak to the host to see if she can get us out quietly?
I do not care what you do as long as the documents are safe. And if you are leaving, if your intention is to leave for some clandestine rendezvous, the documents shall stay here with me.
They stay with Zurich.
Very well. I shall bed with the dwarf then.
Okay. All right, we'll go next door, wherever the room is for Zurich. Knock on the door.
In character, Zork just gives you a big shrug. Oh, what is it this time?
I hold the papers back out to him, and
Where are you
hand
going?
the note. I hand the note to him as well. This came
What is the
from the lady Eucalio.
Just in character for fun, Zurich will snatch them out of your hands and then slam the door in your face.
Okay. Well, I bet you're gonna try to slam the door in my face, but there's somebody blocking
then-
the door.
And then Anna sticks her foot in, and blocks it. Yeah. And then he
We'll
just
see. Actually, make a dex check to see who's faster.
I will. Nat 20. Not even close.
Oh yeah, she
foot in
She's
the door.
like halfway into your room already.
All right, then he'll just shut the door, shake his head, uh, stick the documents in his nightshirt, and crawl back into bed.
All right. She gets onto the bed beside you,
Whoa, 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 whoa.
and she doesn't get under the sheets. She just kind of like sits beside you, and you can see she pulls her stiletto out, so she's sitting beside you with her stiletto drawn while
He
you're trying
rolls
to sleep
over.
beside her.
He rolls over. Uh, um, and yeah, he rolls over, goes to bed.
Okay.
I'm gonna go downstairs. Is there a servant still around in the
Yeah,
house? Or,
there's a couple servants in the house. Yeah,
I need to speak with the lady at the house, please.
of course. And she runs off, and a moment later, the lady comes back. Amelia. So, yes, can I help you? Is there something wrong with your room?
No, everything is fine. I need to go to be at the old bridge Inn before midnight. It's very important to Lady Orithel that I do so.
I see. Well, I trust that it is important enough to warrant leaving. Do you have any sort of disguise or anything you could
I
don?
kind of like look at myself. I think I'm a little big for a disguise.
Fine. I'll see what I can do.
Do you have a
What
back
time are you leaving?
door?
I do
Perhaps.
have black belt, but I also have something that might help. Maybe if you walk with a hunch or something, maybe take a foot off your height. That could help.
Maybe have a staff I could lean on and act like an old man.
Exactly.
Okay.
You get my gist.
Yes.
And Jacques,
I say as long as I can be at the old inn before midnight, that's all I need. I don't time wise, it doesn't matter. So if you need time, that's fine.
all right. Oops, on this. She's applying a disguise kit to you.
Okay.
All right. So with that roll, it'll be a 23. So
Nice.
you're very well disguised. You have a heavy cloak on. She puts a beard on you. I don't know if you had a beard already.
Yeah, but it was more of a close crop beard, not a
All right.
like
So
a 2-week beard type thing, not a month-long beard.
all right. So with a heavy cloak, the staff, and your hunchback and your beard, you look like you're like 90 years old and would fall over.
Okay.
A very tall, very built 90-year-old. But yeah, pretty good disguise. All right. So you're making your way to the bridge in Turk. What are you up to at come midnight?
I should have asked for directions to the servants' exit. That's where I'm supposed to go out of.
Mhm.
So, was that passed on to me?
Nope.
So I step out of my room, and are there servants walking through the halls?
No, but you do still hear the merriment going on below you. And you do see like guards, if you can call them that, just kind of half passed out on the stairs.
So I can sort of sneak past them on the stairs?
You can try. Yeah, this place is not high security, that's for sure.
So if they're passed out, then I get advantage?
No, you'll make a straight stealth check. They'll have disadvantage on their perception checks. All right, I'm just gonna roll with disadvantage here. All right, so yeah, you sneak past these the snoring guard on the staircase. Doesn't budge. You make your way down stairs. Now it's pretty obvious to know where the kitchen is, and from there you can probably find your way down to the basement. It's not a very complex way to get down to the servants area. But to find where that door is, I'm going to make you do either a survival check. Is this kind of like finding your way through a building, or straight intelligence check? Okay, I got that, Eucalio. Thanks.
So my survival's at +2. Is that the better thing to do then?
It's up to you.
Yes, I think that's the best thing for me to do. Uh-oh.
Okay, so this just means that you have to wander around a little more before you find the servant's entrance, and that translates to another stealth check.
Is there any food along the way? You know, dibblies?
Yeah, you're passing through the kitchen, so yeah, there will be some food.
Okay, take a little bit of food.
Okay.
Nothing loud though, of course. Not like apples or
Crackers,
crunchy
I
bits.
think. Just all right.
Okay, here
Soft
we go.
cheeses.
Yes, soft cheese.
Okay, that's still good. So you managed to find the back door, and not a moment too soon. You're there at midnight. Now the back door has a latch, that can only be opened from the inside, so you can clearly lift that up and exit from here if you like. It's a very heavy door though. So I'll need you to make one more stealth roll for you to be able to open that door without alerting people, because it's very heavy and rather sticky.
So I sense that it is sticky. I look around. And is this entrance, is the door entering onto like a pantry, or is there a pantry nearby?
It enters into a corridor, okay, and which leads down to the kitchen and the pantry area and the servants area.
So as I was passing through the kitchen, did I notice perhaps any um, oil,
Lots of oil.
or anything?
Lots of oil.
Could I perhaps take a small cup of oil and try to use it on the hinges to?
Yeah, not a problem. There's tons like bacon grease and stuff lying around.
I'll probably chew on some of the bacon and then rub it in. So does that help the roll at all?
Yeah.
I already
Yeah.
did.
30-20 is still going to do it. Okay. So it's a bit of effort, but with the extra effort you put into making it quiet, it doesn't make any noise as it's kind of scrapes along the floor. It makes it even a little easier to open. You see standing on the side, Lieutenant Brass. Hurry up.
Well, you could have helped me push the door open.
He's already making his way down the street.
Okay. Running after him.
Can you
Or
close the door behind you?
probably is a good idea, yes.
Okay, you know that the way that this door works, if you close it, the latch is probably going to close on you. So the only way back in is through the front door, if crawling up to the balcony or a window or something.
So no way to sort of just wedge a piece of bacon into the latch?
Yeah, if you want to wedge something in there, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, just put a piece of bacon in there and then close the door, and apparently it's stiff enough that it's not going to swing open.
Okay.
And hustle my way back after the
Right.
lieutenant.
Another stealth check for me, please.
Is he rolling stealth as well?
Yep.
Too many stealth checks.
Sneaky operation. 12s for both of you. All right. So actually, yeah, no, it's not. So you guys are making your way through the streets. The streets are quieter, obviously, at this time of night. You get the odd beggar, drunkard kind of wandering the streets. And you can hear Lieutenant Brass kind of hiss back at you quietly. He says, "Stay close. Lots of thieves at this time of night. Wouldn't want your throat slit now, would we?"
No. Or somebody to find you out here leading a hobbit about.
All right. So he leads you through the streets. Can you make a survival check, please, with advantage? All right. You notice as he takes you through these streets that he's not taking you on a direct route to the North Gate. He seems to be taking you a little further north. If you look at your map of Tharbad, you see the gates between number 2 and 3. There's the main road, and you see the inner set of gates there. It should be a pretty straight line from number 2 where you start to the gate. It's not that far, right? But instead, he's taking you towards number 6, then north along that street,
Past the big castle or the keep?
past the big old keep which is half in ruins, and you're heading north, 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 and you see number 9, the ghost pit.
I saw that earlier.
Seems to be taking you in that direction.
Maybe that's where the guy's being kept.
Maybe that's where I'm going to be killed.
I mean, maybe.
Or serve for dinner.
Yeah.
So where are we exactly?
By the time you realize that that you're not headed towards the North Gate, you're probably, you see that. I wish I could ping here. If you look at where number 7 is, where the big
Keep.
ruins of the keep, go straight up from that. It looks like a building with looks like a blue circle on it.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right around there, and you realize, shit.
Yes, we haven't gone through. I remember the way we got here, and we're not going that way.
No, exactly. At first you thought, okay, maybe he's taking back streets now. He's to avoid the main street, but then you realize, no, he has plenty of opportunity to double back and head towards Northgate, and he's just heading in this direction.
Okay, so if you may describe the surroundings, he's focusing on being stealthy. Is there perhaps a fence or something that I can wait until he gets a little bit further ahead, and I will go off to one side and hide?
Okay. Make another stealth check to see if you can sneak away from him.
Now it counts. Okay, so I've never used the pipeweed inspiration or whatever that is. That doesn't count here. I can't use that, can I?
Yeah, it's inspiration. So you can use that on ability checks, attack rolls, and saving throws, I think.
Okay, so how do I do that then? I don't remember.
Roll your die, and then
Okay.
you can decide at that point in time if you want to roll a second one.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Do you want to roll again? And then you take the higher of the two numbers.
I'll take that one.
All right. And I'll roll for his perception, which is crazy, stupid high. But with that roll, he's not going to see you. So you manage to sneak away from him, and you see him in the distance, about a block, like maybe 30 feet late, 60 feet later. He realizes that you're no longer behind him. He starts looking around. Where the fuck did you go, little hobbit? Do you want to see your friend free or not?
He's probably
Um,
going for the rescue attempt.
I'm going to. Okay, so I don't think we need a tactical map yet. um, where? Okay, so I managed to get on the street, and I managed to get hide someplace.
Mhm.
Am I against a wall? Am I in a doorway?
I'll say you're like around a corner, someplace, like hidden behind like a wall. So you have full cover.
Can I climb up the wall and get onto the roof?
Sure. Yeah, the walls, the buildings in this part of town are not so well kept. In fact, there are more ruins and abandoned buildings than there are places that people live. And the places that are occupied are occupied by squatters or the destitute. So this is a rougher part of town.
Okay. I'm going to do that. I need what, an athletics check?
Yep, please.
Now I have. Let me pull that up. Um, I don't know how much of the rules that I have something called tree climber, which gives me my dexterity modifier to strength for athletics.
All
Check.
right, cool.
So that means +3 on this.
Okay.
Oh God.
All right. So you scramble up this wall, trying to gain some height and better vantage, maybe. The stones, though, are loose and crumbly, and as you try and gain some purchase, they just kind of crumble and rot underneath you, and you just hear a loud clattering sound as the stones
Ah,
fall to the ground.
I'm going to use this to my advantage. So that falls. I'm going to sort of. I know he's going to be coming back the way he. Well, I assume he's going to be coming back the way he walked to the last place he saw me. So I'm going to try to double around the building that I was at.
All right, go ahead and make another stealth check, and he'll make another perception check to see if he sees you.
Well, with a building between us, it's more about hearing me, I guess.
Yep,
Oh shit.
not 20. He sees you, like he heard the rocks, the wall kind of crumble. Immediately doubled back, ran back to where that he heard that noise. And as you're ducking around the corner, he sees you briefly, and he says, "What the fuck?
Why aren't we going to the north gate? We're supposed to go to the north gate.
We're
We're not
getting
heading
the
north. We're
cobbler.
not going north.
We're getting the cobbler first.
Getting him out of here, out of the ruins and wreckage.
I had to hide him someplace." Listen,
You know my friends are back in the Red Palace. If something happens to me, they're going to rat you out.
I know, I know.
Okay.
I'm keeping my end of the bargain. Now just be
Ah,
quiet and stop.
perception check. Perception check.
Perception or insight?
Uh, well, is he lying?
That would be an insight check.
Boo, 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 boo. Oh God damn.
No, he seems annoyed at this little deviation from his plans. Says, "Come on, we don't have all night, man."
Okay. Following him. I've got my hand on a stiletto too.
All right. So he leads you off into this old ruined building. Lets out a low whistle, and you see a man come out. I'll show a picture of him.
Does he look like a cobbler?
He looks like a man that has not seen daylight for quite some time. Wearing clothes that are soaking wet, unshaven. He's a mess and half starved. Um, but yeah, he comes out, comes crawling out, and you see here, Lieutenant Brass says, "See, trust me, I'm a good man. Tell that to your friend."
What's your name?
The man hoarsely calls out, "Borlas, you're here to save me?"
Show me your hands.
He looks a little confused, but holds his hands out.
Does he have the calluses that one would expect from on his hands like a cobbler?
I'll ask you to make it either an insight or perception check, or if you have a relevant tool skill that would know, like leatherworking, for example.
Woodworking.
Woodworking, then probably not relevant. But yeah, go ahead and make a perception.
That's the better of the two, anyways.
They are somewhat calloused, but they're mainly just dirty and raw, and they look like they've been underwater for a long time. They're all kind of pruned up, and you see kind of like almost like cuts and become infected, not only in his hands but his arms too.
What's your profession?
And he's looking at, oh, I'm a cobbler.
Insight check.
I really don't trust this guy.
Hey, come on. Okay.
Natural 20. I cobbled shoes for. Oh, you'll know this one. Thorin Oakenshield. I made his shoes for him.
Then you're the kind of cobbler I'm looking for.
Who else? And some. Oh, what was his name?
Did you make shoes for Bilbo Baggins?
For who?
Bilbo Baggins.
Don't know that name.
Okay.
Is he important?
He's a hobbit.
Oh, I don't think I've ever made any hobbit shoes. But if you get me out of here alive, I'll make you the most wonderful pair of hobbit shoes. Do hobbits wear shoes?
Not really, most of the time.
No,
Anyways, let's go. Let's go.
It's such a waste. Oh, I also, and as you walk now, you start loosening him up a bit. He starts babbling on about all the other people he's made shoes for.
Elrond?
Elrond? No. That sounds like an elvish name. Elves don't. Do elves wear shoes? I've never made an elf boots.
They probably make their own. Yes.
No, but there's one man back in Bree. He ordered a pair of yellow boots. Who wears yellow boots?
I don't know. Some silly fictional characters, I guess.
And you hear Lieutenant Brass up ahead. He says, "Shut up! You're gonna wake up the entire neighborhood." And this caller's just going on about he loves talking about his work and all the shoes he's made.
Oh! I'll hand him a piece of bacon. Maybe that'll shut him up.
Yeah, he mounds that so quickly.
I thought so.
And you make it to the north gate, and you can see Lieutenant Brass say, "Wait here." And he moves up to the guardsman there. See him have a word with them. And then the guardsmen kind of move off as if they're taking a break. And then he waves you through and says, "There you go. Free as a bird."
My friends will tell you where um, a
John
leaping.
Leaping.
Yes, my friends will tell you where it is
What do
tomorrow.
you mean, your
Here
friends?
at least.
What? You're not telling me now?
No, they're not. They're not free of the Red Palace yet. They will tell you. Trust me. I trusted you. You will have to trust me.
All right. All
It
right.
will
All right.
work out.
I'll meet you at the front door of the Red Palace first thing tomorrow morning.
Sure.
All right. Gives you a thumbs up, and he dashes off into the shadows.
And I'll take the fellow and I'll wander down the road and I'll make sure nobody's following us. Is anybody following us?
Make a perception check for me, please, and a stealth check if you're trying to be sneaky about getting back to the Red Palace.
No. We're not going back to the Red Palace. I'm getting
Oh, you're
him.
going to the outer gates?
Yeah, I'm taking him out the gates.
Okay.
Because he took us to the north gate.
Yep. Are you leaving with him?
I'm going to be stepping out with him, yes.
Okay.
Hang on, though. If you leave the north gate, you can't. You're going to have to pay your way back in.
Maybe I don't have to come back in. You just have to get out.
But you're going to be on the wrong side of the river.
Oh, hell.
Yeah, no, do not leave the gates. Your character would know this. Don't go out that door. I already sent a message to Orthel. She should pick him up as long as he can get a little ways away from the gate.
Okay, so is he wandering? So I kind of steer him in the right direction.
Yeah, and you just see him. He's booting as fast as he can down the causeway towards the outer gate.
Oh, I thought the outer gate was the north gate.
No, that was the north inner gate that you guys just went out of. He still has to get to the outer gate.
Oh, it's like Checkpoint Charlie.
Yep.
He's trying to make it across, and the East Germans are shooting. Does he make it through the outer gate?
It's too far and too dark to see at this point. You'd have to follow him out.
Do I hear any sounds of?
Are you gonna hang out at the north gate to see?
I guess not. I'll go back.
But wasn't it part of our bargain that he got all the way out? Because I thought the outer gate was the north gate, not the inner gate. So he's not holding up his end of the bargain if he's not getting that guy out the outer gate.
Look at Andrew. Oh.
Well, you're technically still standing there with him, right? You could be like, "Hey, why aren't you getting him out the outer gate?"
Yeah, is he still here?
Lieutenant Brass?
Yeah.
He gave you a thumbs up and he scooted out of there.
Okay, so here, let me call up the map here again. I don't want
to go all the way across the causeway and out the other gate, which is gonna have guards at it. Like he has no money. There's no way he's getting out.
Unless we can somehow go through one of the holes in the wall.
Could be.
Or is Turk's not too smart, to be honest. He can be wise at times, but damn, I wish I had a raven to follow him.
Sorry.
No,
I can tell my raven to go places, but it's not gonna intuitively follow people.
I'm teasing. I'm going to follow him to the outside gate.
You follow him down the causeway, and he's just running as fast as he can. But he's, after being in this dank, awful dungeon for the last few weeks, his mobility isn't there, so you easily catch up to him.
And I'll tell him, slow down, be quiet. This causeway, is there any way off of the causeway? I had heard there were steps.
There were stairs. Every once in a while, there's a set of stairs that lead down to the ground.
Okay, so let's get to. Well, there must be torches at the end of the causeway for the gate, right?
Yeah.
So let's get as close as we can to there, and then take the steps down on one side or the other.
Okay. All
Does
right.
it matter whether I say one side or the other?
Do you tell me north or south side of the causeway?
Oh, here I should look at the map then. Where's the map? Where's the
He
map?
said before that the north side had more holes in the wall than the
Yeah,
south
and
side.
the ram, which is the wall of the outer um, by the outer gate, isn't really a wall. It's basically a mound of dirt that's kind of grown over a wall that's crumbled. So you can technically climb over it if you wanted to. It's not that difficult. Well, it's not. It'd be considered difficult terrain, but you can certainly do it. Just
Oh,
take a bit of effort.
yeah. So we'll take I'll take him over in that direction.
Okay.
And it also looks like it's a pretty thin little moat.
Yeah, it's maybe a 20-foot high mound of dirt and stone is what
Oh
it
no,
is.
no, but the waterway,
Oh,
the
the
moat.
waterway? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's there. It's not
Yeah.
really very substantial. So it's midnight. At least it's dark.
Okay. 10:42. I will say, can you make a stealth check for me, please, to see if you can make your way down? I'm gonna roll for Borlas. Okay. Um, you make it down the stairs and start climbing over the stones. Borlas is trying to keep up with you and trying to be stealthy in his own way, but he's too weak and his condition is too frail, and he keeps stumbling. And as he stumbles, loose rocks keep tumbling down, and you hear voices from above on the causeway yell out, "Someone's down there!" And you see some torches moving and figures kind of moving towards your direction. Um,
How many torches do I see?
you only see two. But I will now switch over quickly to the Bridge Inn, where Moonstalker, disguised as a 90-year-old hunchback, um, makes his way towards. And do you just walk into the Bridge Inn?
Yeah, I'll enter.
Okay. Okay. So you go in, and at this time of night, there's still a rowdy kind of crowd in the tavern part of the inn. You walk in, you don't really draw a lot of attention, but what do you go right in at midnight?
No, before midnight.
Okay, how much sooner?
I like to get there at least 15 minutes early, if I can, if I've got the time for that.
Okay. So you make your way there, trying to get there 15 minutes early. It's not a very difficult place to find, and it's not that far from where you are. You walk in. Can you make a perception check for me, please?
Mhm. Poor.
Okay. All right. And you sit at a table?
No, I'm going to look for like a dark corner to kind of back into, where I can
Okay.
see like the tavern and the door in, and kind of
Strider style. Okay.
and try to look around for her. So
Okay. So you sit there, and yeah, um, take a position up to get a good vantage point and wait. Um, Literally a minute before midnight, you see a figure walk in, matching the description that Eucalio sent you. A young woman, cloak over her head, dark hair, dark eyes. You quickly walk in, scan the room.
And I'll kind of straighten up a little bit for a minute and look towards her. I mean, I might have my hood on still, but I'm actively looking at her, so when she scans my way, she'll see I'm staring at her. And I'll
Okay.
motion with my staff hand, my hand on my staff, and just kind of wiggle my fingers.
All right. I'm just gonna make 2 rolls here. Okay. You want the second roll? Actually, you roll for one of them for me, please.
Yeah.
Roll a d20.
All right. There we go.
All right. So you're going to add 2 to your roll, and I'm going to add 6 to mine. So that makes mine a 10 to 9. All right. So as she sees you wave and starts to take a step towards you, but then you see Orla appear behind her, stiletto drawn, grabs the young woman, and that's where we're going to end.